Sorry, my health's kicking me for today, so I'm running a tiny little bit late. Oh, I've got everything working. But I'm also having tech issues right now. Hopefully it's working. I don't know. Whatever. I'll be back soon. Hello everyone, how you doing? Oh, I'm just checking some stuff on YouTube. I'm Cupcake Conjuror, name and profession. I'm trying to check. Getting tech issues still. Thought I might have fixed it, but no, I didn't. Oh no, no AI was used here. There's nothing there saying they don't support it. Oh, I get it. I know why YouTube doesn't support 1440p streaming. It's telling me. It's telling me. It's because I'm in ultra low latency. I need to go into low latency, but that just means it's like there's a bigger gap between you saying something and me replying to it. And also a bigger gap between me saying something and you replying to it. Okay, that makes sense. I figured it out. But I can't change that now. I'm already streaming. We're pretty much stuck with what we've got. But hello, sir. I've been having a really, you know, a bit of a rough day, I'd say. Health has been a bit weird. I'm a bit dizzy. You already got like a mind fog. That's what I've got going on right now. It's less of just a mind fog, more like just an entire body fog. I keep making like I keep being clumsy, making mistakes, doing stuff wrong. Oh, I feel like I'm in a different cloud to my body. There we go. Oh my gosh, it feels like I'm trying to control my body and my mind from like YouTube. Or like, do you know when you're playing a game and you got really, really high ping and you got terrible internet? That's what it feels like. Everything is just so slow. Oh. There we go. I'm drinking drinks. I'm having food. How are people doing? Are you all here? Are you all here? Are you happy? Do you want a big old hug? Do you want a hug like Cuptle does? The yo-yo master. Can you teach me how to be a yo-yo master? The yo-yo master didn't reply. He just kept yoing. Yo master. Oh my goodness. I just found like a meme online and it was hilarious. And now I want to make a short of it. But I've not been as productive off stream as I would have liked to be. You can see here. I've not gotten... I wanted to do some like liquid effect resin things on the basis of my Mechanicus. And I wanted to do that on Thursday, but I was feeling terrible on Thursday, so I never got around to doing it. I did try and get as much as I could done that day, but I had a lot to do. I've not gotten around to doing them. Also, these things, I said I wanted to finish painting all of the black on these things off stream. And I never did. There's a lot of stuff I want to finish. Oh, this isn't helping. This isn't helping me feel good. I did get some stuff finished off stream though. It was a lot of work. These dudes. Yes, that, like you can see his claw. If I just raise this entire thing, there you go. Yeah, look at his big old claw thing. So yeah, he's got his claw. I had to fix the horns and tongue on the Nurglin we made because it broke off. I also had to fix some of the wormy things coming out of its eyes. I did a bit more fleshy stuff to it. Oh yeah, I did like this fleshy maw here with like a tongue sticking out and you know, just fat, just blubby, bloated, fatty lumps on it and stuff. Also, I did do some liquid resin stuff off stream. I magnetized the basis, and if you're looking like it looks all wet here, that's a liquid resin. It's all properly cured. It's hard. It's solid. But I got a UV lamp for it. I didn't get a UV lamp for that, but I got a UV lamp that works perfectly well for it. So yeah. What did I get my UV lamp for? Oh yeah, because I buy sometimes like resin parts and pieces and stuff from Etsy. And occasionally I don't think they're cured properly, so I got the UV lamp to make sure. But yeah, look, his face is all done. And then he just goes onto here. I'm not going to glue him on until I'm ready to paint them. I wanted to spray for... we didn't actually finish them before. I could have sprayed them on Thursday and they've even had the time to spray them on Thursday. I actually finished these guys last night. Then you got this guy. I was experimenting with this guy. Adding a face to it. Like, look, he's got like a little mouth and a little tongue sticking out, and he's got a big old eye there. And there's another eye here. And I tried getting another eye there. So yeah, just more stuff on them. I also tried doing like fleshy strings going across. It didn't go well. You know, like this thing has here, or tendery things, I guess. And it goes well. I sort of like, oh gosh, oh no, breaking him again. Oh, and this guy's obviously magnetized too. Low magnets there. And magnets so that you can lift it up properly. It doesn't go anywhere. Hello, Talan. Oh, that reminds me. I just remembered. I need to do... no, I don't want to do that one. I need to do... Click this one. Send 5 gifted memberships. Hi, Talan. How you doing? Cupcake. Yay! Crazy man.
Oh, my Cupcake. Thank you, Cupcake Conjuror, for supporting 5 Cupcake Mages.
The birthday of every horse in the Southern Hemisphere. Happy birthday to every horse ever. What do you mean? 1st of August? Cupcake, yay!
Oh, my Cupcake. Thank you, Cupcake Conjuror, for supporting 5 Cupcake Mages.
Yeah, it's TA got a membership. Nice. And loads of other people got memberships. Yeah, there we go. But hi, Talan, how you doing? We're here. We're streaming. Oh yeah, I broke this thing. I'll show him for model. I'll show him for, you know, for baby nurgling. Little nurgling. And I broke his eye again. The worms coming out of his eye. Oh gosh. Yeah, I'm not doing well today. Horses' birthdays are standardized and automatically set for 1st of January. But it's not for 1st of January. What are you on about, Talan? I'm so confused. Go and practice a thoroughbred horses? And why would you standardize the birthdays of horses? Don't they have their own birthdays? Why are you being so crude for horses and supporting this practice that doesn't allow them to have their own unique birthdays? Well, you know, not unique, but you know. So we don't have to celebrate it with all of our brothers and sisters. You hate horses, Talan. I got glue all over me now. Oh wait. It's the 1st of August. There we go. I can't believe Talan says he hates Umas. 1st of August is the birthday of every horse of the Northern Hemisphere. Do you like my magnetizing of a base? Look, he's got magnets over here and magnets here, and it goes clickety-clop, and it's fixed. It doesn't go anywhere. Oh, so nice. Somebody can pick it up. Oh, beautiful. Look it up. This is actual factual. Yeah, I'm not saying you're lying. I'm just saying. Talan, I'm surprised you support such a terrible practice of invalidating the birthdays of every horse to give them a generic day. Like, could you imagine just every single human for like, you know what, everyone is now born on one of 2 days. We don't care what day you're actually born on. Your new birthday is one of 2 days, depending on where you were born. This is to help nerds like you. When is my birthday, Her? Do you remember? I don't remember my own birthday. Let alone if I don't think I was ever born, so that's fine. See if I clips onto that, and he's like, "Oh, hello, hello, look at him, look at him." Oh, so you've not been saying hello? Look at the cute little nurgling I made. You meant to say hello to him. He's got a butt. He's got a butt. And this guy can watch you with his stomach because he's got an eye in his stomach and a mouth. He's got an eye in his shoulder too. So yeah, we're finished. we finished making these guys. There we go. And all we have to do is get him somehow. There we go. I am this guy's also magnetized. Look at that. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. That's not like water. That's the resin. You know, for clear water like resin I've got. So nice. Yeah. I know we've got a cool little hand here. I made that off stream. It's like, rah, rah. Gotta numb ya with his hand. There we go. But I've got these dudes to do today. Whew. I need to paint for black on them. So let's get these guys off there. How's everyone doing today? Oh, I figured out Talan. I know why it doesn't support my higher quality streaming, Talan. Because I've got it set to ultra low latency, which only supports 1980p or 1920, 1080, 1920. It's like, no. Also for this pre-orders today. Shop. Oh, pre-orders. Yeah. Gameplay. Yeah, Necromunda stuff today. And also books. There's books here too. For Wicked and for Warped is the new book. Which had a special edition but sold out pretty quickly, as you can imagine. And for Infinite and Defiance also in hardback again, if you wanted that. So yeah, new book. They're fun. New Necromunda stuff, the new gangs and crews. Well, they're not new, they're just like 2 box. It's basically just a box with one gang thing in it and then another squad. Basically both squads of each gang that are in plastic. New stuff. I thought the terrain looks pretty fun. You know, not the most fun terrain. In fact, in some ways it's kind of boring. I mean, as far as terrain goes, I guess the price isn't the worst. Like, what about this other terrain over here? Yeah, this terrain's like £10 more expensive and less exciting. What? This one's even more expensive. Okay, this one's more exciting though, but it's like almost twice the price. Yeah, 40k tax. Okay, what am I doing though? What am I doing? What did I want to do? I don't know. We gotta paint this dude. And we don't want to break him off his space. Is this meant to fall to pieces? I think it is. Because I think this guy can actually come out as like, I'm not fixing this in the end. Wait, can you come out of here? Or is it you who comes out? I'm pretty sure it's you. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Like, there's no point fixing that. Just make it easier to paint. So, that's that. I need to dust them first. Yeah, before I get paint on them, let's dust them. Because they've just been sat on my desk for ages waiting for paint. Oh, I did get a new model thing today. Yesterday arrived. Let me just put some stuff to one side. Oh, there's a wing here that's not meant to be here. Meant to go this far. No. it meant to go into? What the heck? I think it's this one. There we go. Oh, ow. Sorry, it's like a random wing that was just out and about. And I need to put it away. There we go. Because otherwise it's getting in my way. I got some new models. They're blue plastic. This isn't grey plastic, it's blue. I mean, it looks grey, but it's kind of blue. Like, can you see it better next to actual grey plastic? Blue plastic by itself. Looks kind of grey. Now it looks blue. Yeah, it's the, what's it? I can't remember what it's called. You know, Underworlds, whatever Cincian thing. Going to turn one of these into a sorcerer in my 40k army. The rest are just going to be like stand-ins of blue horrors and things. Pink horrors on 32mm, aren't they? If I get some pink horrors eventually, then I guess I can use these ones. I don't really like the fact that they've integrated basis. Because the feet are on the blooming integrated basis. That's well and fine, I guess, for these ones. But the feet aren't even integrated on this one. I could literally just put it onto any old base. It's like this one, it's on the smallest base anyway, so I can just cut out this area. Or just put it, you know, on top of another base. But these ones, if I want them to be like blue horrors, then I can't just stick them onto a smaller base, because then they don't have their feet. What am I gonna do? Like, ah! Yeah. I'm kind of not a fan of integrated bases like that. Not when the feet are, you know, molded into the base. Like, oh, I wish integrated bases were more optional. Like, I don't like the Necromunda ones. The way you got the cool looking bases that are a bit different. We don't have the feet attached to the bases. So you could put them on normal bases if you wanted to. Or convert them up. Oh yeah, I need to dust these things. Because they're just being sat out here. Where's my big old brush that's good for dusting? Big old brush that's good for dusting. Big old brush that's good for dusting. Yeah, I can already see all the dust that's on them. So let's just go, let's go. Oh, I'm not doing well today. There we go. So sorry if I seem a bit, you know, out of it today, because I'm not feeling that good. I don't know why. I'm just feeling dizzy. I'm in pain. I'm just, I'm in a fog state. A foggy state today. Feels like I'm controlling my body on a really high ping setting with lots of lag. Also, are you guys doing okay today, though? I hope you're doing better than I am. My goodness. We are singing songs. We are going all alone. Just give them a good old dusty dust. Oh yeah. I can give this one a dust too while I'm at it. Hard to tell actually how dusty it is though. Because of the way the spray paint and the dry brushing is. There we go. I managed to get some Japanese lessony stuff done today. Oh, but I've been having a big issue with YouTube. I don't know if anyone else has been. The way it just keeps them dying on you. Like you're trying to play a video and you're just like playing, loading. The internet's fine. Everything else is working, but the video just loads repeatedly. I finally got YouTube working, but it just keeps skipping now. It's like, do you know, like a record player or do like a CD or something that's got a scratch on it and it just like skips, or it goes back like half a second and repeats. So it's just skipping and repeats. It's like, what the heck's going on? I wonder if YouTube's having server issues or something. Oh, painted underneath as well. That's good to know. Okay. So my hands are a bit weird today. There you go. Sorry if you could hear a cracking noise. That's just me with my trying to get my hands to work, you know? Hey Michael, how you doing? About to take Diesel for a walk. Give a hell outside. Is it a hell as in it's super warm? I don't know how warm it is today. I've not been paying attention to the temperature again. Or do you mean something else? Okay, I got some of bad and black over here. That's good. I'll probably just use the Warhammer small layer brush. There we go. How's the other thing I wanted to do? I wanted to bloom in paint things. Not paint things. I wanted to do stuff. I can't remember what I wanted to do. Oh yeah, wash the brushes. But my brain really doesn't want to work today. I apologize for that. Like, I'm trying to say stuff and my brain's like, oh, I'll lower this back down again when we can lower it. Because I increased the height so we could look at my models. Where's my magnifying glass? Okay, so yeah, I'm not getting onto camera there. Oops, sorry, just bring the microphone down a bit so you can still hear me. Let's just see what I'm doing from here. Not sure. I'm just painting underneath now. Actually, air conditioner's done enough work right now, so turn that off. And we'll paint. And we'll just try our best. As I say, I'm not feeling well. My hands are a bit... not happy with me, I feel like. And I'm feeling dizzy, so it's very difficult for me to actually even tell what I'm doing. Hand-eye coordination is not doing well today. Took me like 6 attempts to turn all my screens on. I do have 3 screens. And one of them is super finicky to try and turn on because it's got one of those bloom. It does have a proper button. It's got a touch panel instead, like at the bottom of the screen. And it's got all the buttons so close to one another. So it's super finicky whenever you try doing anything with it. It's like, oh. I don't think I'd want to get another one like that. I think the button is just so much nicer, like a physical button. So at least you know which buttons you're pressing then. You can feel them. Especially because it's blooming black, so it's very hard to actually see what buttons you're pressing to begin with. Like, it's on a black shining plastic material, so things reflect off it really well. And for writing on it, it's in a not a very light grey, kind of a mid grey, not a dark grey, but mid. So it's very, you have to, in certain lighting, it's easy to see what you're actually pressing. Or in other lighting, it's just hard to see any of the icons. And half the time, when you want to turn something on, you don't want to necessarily have to look at it. You just want to turn it on. In fact, actually, both of my power buttons on my other two monitors, you can't even see. But because they're physical buttons, it's very easy to tell. Because like from the back of a monitor, you just have to reach around to press it. Because on the back of, but because it's a physical button, it's very easy to tell when or where you've, pressed it correctly. If they don't have the other setting buttons right next to them, well, one monitor has a whole load of different buttons on it. I don't even know what half of them do. Better than a non-physical button. Yeah, the non-physical buttons absolutely suck. The touchpad ones, where it's all touch sensitive. Ugh. And my other screen, the button is also like a little joystick. So you press it once, it turns the monitor off. You press it again, it turns the monitor off. But because it sticks out a bit, you can like push it to the left, push it to the right, push it up or push it down. And it will, instead bring up setting menus, and you control the setting menu using it like a joystick. It is a bit annoying trying to deal with the settings with that setup, but it's just so much nicer. Like for this one monitor, just go for one, it's right over that way. That way. That monitor's fine. That monitor's fine. That monitor. Terrible. It's got a whole load of settings buttons for all touch sensitive, for all right next to one another. I think every apparatus should have an Xbox controller attached to it. No. Hi, Nanofate. How you doing? By the way, Talan, did you hear when I said that I figured out what's wrong with my streaming setup, but I can't do 4K? Because I figured it out. You don't see the vision. Diesel is being hard-headed for you. What? There you go. I didn't say it now. No! I won't.
I didn't say it now.
No. No. I told you once, and now I know you're not listening to me, so I'm joking. Ow, okay. Hi, Douglas. I am... What's wrong is that I'm streaming in ultra low latency, and it doesn't support 4K streaming at an ultra low latency. It only supports 1920 by 1080. I can switch it to low latency instead of ultra low, but that means the delay between me saying
What is this
something.
red frosting on a tank?
It's not red frosting on a tank. So we can either have high resolution streaming, or we can have ultra low latency. Basically, if I switch it to low latency instead of ultra low, it just means it will be a longer distance between you guys talking to me and me seeing it, and a longer time between me saying something and you hearing it. So basically, it just means that replies between us will take longer. That's making sense. The sandwich, by the way, hence why I missed it. Making a sandwich when I'm streaming. Oh, that's illegal. That's illegal to learn. What sort of mod are you? You know, thinking about food at a time when I'm streaming. You're meant to go hungry to where did you get the money to buy food? Don't tell me you've become some sort of editor. Oh no. Is that a toast sandwich? Now $17, I will survive a winter. Yay! You wish it was a toast sandwich. No, he's just got an air sandwich. Don't worry about it. He only gets charged 70 pence per cubic foot of air that he consumes each day. You know, bargain really when you think about it. You know, those Martians, they don't get air. I would love for such a bargain on air. Oh my gosh. You know, companies, if we let them, would charge us to breathe. I mean, they already charge us to drink water. You know, one of the most important and vital things to a human. Escape from the cupcake basement to make $17 and returning to flex my wealth. I am now the biggest beggar all around. Nice. Wait, who said you're allowed to beg? I escaped a bakery long ago. That's what you like to think. It's like those people that think they escaped the Matrix. No, you never left. You never left. And once again, I broke the gun. Nice. Well, actually, it's smoke launchers or something. There we go. Which is why I must destroy it. You do you, Erland. Sure, you can destroy the bakery. Sure, you're still not trapped in the basement. Okay, I just completely messed that up. I didn't even cover all the area I wanted to cover. I can. The bakery is like the maze from Maze Runner. Never watched it. Sounds fun. Is it based on that you know, popular video game, you know, on the phone, where you run around a maze and stuff, and you collect coins? Except for the release Subway Surfer. Have you heard they're making a Subway Surfer film? If you could have a dragon, which one would you pick? I'd pick Black Dread from House of the Dragon. Oh no, dragons sound expensive to upkeep. Maybe one of those tiny dragons, do you know? The other little ones that was in the Harry Potter stuff. Oh, Harry Potter. Don't like Harry Potter. But whoever pick the dragons in, is it Goblet of Fire? And they pick them by like reaching into a bag of tiny dragons. The tiny dragons are alive, not animal cruelty at all. Don't think about it too hard, apparently. Yeah, I don't want one of those dragons. You're just a tiny little baba dragon. A tiny dragon that's gonna be easy to maintain and upkeep. In fact, actually, I liked the idea so much, though, of having tiny dragons. I designed an idea of how to make little tiny robots that would walk around like a little dragon. Except then the main issue I always came into is that they'd be so incredibly fragile. Well, they'd either be incredibly fragile and expensive, or they would be extremely simplistic and the novelty won't exist anymore. And then I just gave up the idea at that point. And like, yeah, okay, never mind, who cares about this? Dragons famously fly, not walk. I'd pick dragon my bolts. Screwdriver. Oh, you don't threaten people to land. Don't say you're gonna screwdriver people's faces off. Oh my god.
Nut and bolt emoji.
Nut and bolt emoji. Drag your nut and bolts. Mechanical dragon? There we go. Talan. Wait! Talan, this is family friendly. Ban yourself. Now, time yourself out for 10 minutes. There you go. So it took my brain is not working well today. I apologize. Explode. I would have Black Dread fly me to parts of the world I've never been to. You'd need to get all sorts of... How are you going to do that, Phil? That's like saying I would have a jet plane so I can fly across the world. It's like, what did you have? Jets are expensive and you need a place to keep them. And, you need to, like, charter flights and stuff. And how are you going to fly across the world with a dragon? Like, if you fly too high, you're going to freeze to death. If you don't fly that high, you're going to have to, like, go really, really far, probably relatively slow. Because, again, you got, like... You'd be on the back of a dragon for hours upon hours. Because you won't be travelling as fast as a plane would. So you'd be travelling for, like... having to spend, like, literal days on the back of a dragon. In the freezing cold air above the oceans and stuff, or in direct sunlight. And it wouldn't be an easy flight. It'd be going up and down, up and down, up as with a flap of the wings and stuff. And then you'd have to, like, feed the dragon. It'll cost so much to feed a dragon and to maintain it, and you need a space for it. I mean, you might as well just use the money to, just book a ticket on a plane somewhere, go first class. Really nice, really relaxing, get there, stay in a nice hotel, and you'll probably still save money on it. Remember that dragon episode in Rick and Morty where he gets bored of it after a while? Yeah. I mean, that's honestly what would happen with anything. I say with anything, I mean, that being said, it's like, you know, Stellaris got released one day, and there's thousands of people that, you know, have not got bored of it over the decades it's been out. And that Dwarf Fortress game. You know, at least Rick and Morty, when they get the dragon, you know, Rick's got all that super tech. I don't think they're ever wanting for anything, to be honest. Give me a wand that I can cast Fireball, and I will change every seat in Parliament. I don't think a wand is going to beat gun, to be honest. I think that's your main issue you're going to face. You know, someone going machine gun and just going and you're going to be like, yeah, I can't beat that. Wands are non-metallic. Oh, so you don't just want to cast Fireball, you wanted to cast Fireball at 10th level? How are you going to get into Parliament, Votalan? Why would you be allowed in there? First, you need to get into Parliament. Second, it needs to like cast it at 10 levels so you can have an explosive radius large enough. Is it Fireball? But do you know for a higher level you cast it for bigger of a radius it explodes in? Oh no, think of something. Look. I'm in a mood today of just thinking everything thoroughly through. No, what you want is a wand that can cast 1, invisibility, 2, passive out to trace, 3, Fireball at 10th level, 4, teleport, and 5. No, I think that's all you need, because passive out of trace will mean you won't leave any DNA evidence around you. I think, isn't it? Invisibility will make sure no one can see you. Teleport to allow you to get into Parliament without any other measures. Then you can cast a Fireball, and then you can teleport back out of there. You wanted to at least use each of those twice, I'd say. Another radius is fixed, higher levels is for increased damage. Oh, okay. Oh wait, isn't there another one like Fire Sphere then that's like increases radius? That's a coward way of doing things. Look, all that will happen is they'll elect a bunch of others, you know, what's the word? Sycophants? Terrible people, narcissists, back into Parliament, and it would change nothing. So you need to have to do it just every single day until they completely dissolve Parliament, because it's like, yeah, no one wants to go into Parliament anymore. And then you have to do that to every single Parliament into the world, just over and over and over again until every single government just falls to pieces. But the police forces still stay intact. So, you know, law and order at least still remains. And then every single country will have to become a military junta. That would just make everything worse. Alan, you want to destroy society? Oh no. Look. So what you really need is a wand that will cast mind control on members of Parliament. And then you can just, or charm person on everybody. That would be the best. get every single person in Parliament always agreeing with exactly what you want. Except then, are you a good enough person to use that power responsibly? I'm casting fireball from outside through the window. Just Parliament have a window you can just cast fireball in like that? Look, I like how people ask these hypothetical questions and I'm just like, I'm going to answer them seriously as if it's real life. You know, look, I've been trained by media to always think these things through, never mind how hypothetical they are, because you never know when there's going to be a monkey's paw. Or a genie or something who just wants to make your day terrible. Make your wildest wish go incredibly, incredibly badly. Zoe. There we go. We're out here just answering hypotheticals as serious as we can. Also, I think it's fun when you answer hypotheticals serious. Why did I put 6 magnets on here? Games Workshop 2013. Oh, is that? Actually, well, I don't know what. Is it Sen? Say? Is that 1,000 in Japanese? I can't remember. Because that would be ni, say, ichi, ju, san. I just came in and you're considering magic. If this is Talan, Michael is talking about, hey, if you had a dragon, which one would you want? And he's like, I want to visit everywhere in the world if I ride my dragon. And I'm like saying that doesn't make sense because, you know, it costs a lot of money to keep a dragon. And you need to like charter flights and, you know, being on the back of a dragon, your flights will take for blooming ever. And it'd be horrible. I'm saying I would want a tiny little baby dragon. I think Talan's like, who cares about dragons? I want a wand and I want to, you know, go into Parliament with a wand. You know, Talan just heard the question and just ignored it, completely ignored it and just decided to answer a completely different question. Like, I'm answering incredibly seriously and Talan's just out here, you know, just answering a different question. Don't worry about it. For Micah, hypothetical is also hilarious because he would get arrested for occupying flying space. No, that's the thing. You'd have to still charter a flight. So he'd be allowed to charter it, in theory. But he'll need the land and space for the dragon. He'll need to be able to feed the dragon. On top of this, would he be allowed to keep it? Because, you know, exotic animals and stuff. Now, there wouldn't be any law saying that he can't have a dragon if one exists. Because, but I thought it would become an endangered species, meaning you wouldn't be allowed to keep it, I imagine. Unless you're living in Switzerland, in which case, fair game. You just have to pay a tax for it. You're also not allowed to fly without... Yeah, you can take a radio with you. Don't worry about it. Like, none of that's a difficult part. Like, charting flight space, you can do that. Getting a radio to take up with your dragon, you can do that. You can get yourself one of those flight helmets and stuff, so, you know, you can still hear over the radio properly. You can take a course in, you know, all of the signs and stuff that you need to memorize. All of that's fine. You can do all of that. It's just, do you have the money to keep a dragon? If you're getting a dragon, you know, you need one that is going to bring its own wealth with it and going to let you spend that wealth to maintain it. And one you can reason with as well. So, you know, not a smog. Like, Smog would be a good dragon because he'd come with a lot of wealth, but he's also going to fry your brains out. So, you'd probably want a different dragon. But, you know, you want a rich and wealthy dragon that you can communicate with well. That's not going to go out by itself, and it's going to allow you to spend a small portion of its wealth to help maintain it. You also need to buy airspace from an airport. True. Actually, you don't necessarily need to buy airspace from an airport. Oh, wait, do you mean when you're flying it? Sorry, yeah, you might need to do that. I don't know. I know that with drones and stuff, you need to basically get permission to fly them and stuff, but I don't think you need to pay for... It depends what country, and they all have different rules. Now, that means when you're flying across different countries, you basically need to tell every single country what you're doing. A black dread made for Iron Throne. Oh. So actually, you know what a good dragon would be? You know, the type of dragon that was in Rick and Morty is actually a good idea. It's magical, it can talk, you've got an actual contract with it, it comes with its own wealth. It lives underground, which makes getting space for it a bit easier. Radio needs power, so you need to mount a battery onto the dragon. You could have like a battery... You don't necessarily need to mount the battery on the dragon. You could have it all mounted on yourself. But I mean, if you're flying a long distance and it's you're there for multiple days, you might need to mount it on the dragon. But one of the things that you're probably going to have to do is you're going to probably have to make like a harness of a dragon that includes like a cockpit on the back. Just so that one, it can fly higher at extreme speed, so you can travel faster and you can stay safe. And you can have your radio and stuff mounted in there. At this point, get up. I know that's the entire thing. You might as well just get a plane, or you might as well just like buy a first class ticket on a plane. For the amount of money it would cost to have a dragon, you might as well just buy a first class ticket on a plane, land, go into a 5-star hotel. You know, just do the full thing, and you'll probably still save a hell of a lot of money. I mean, if you can't afford to do that now, then you can't afford to keep a dragon. Because that's the entire why capitalism is the way it is. It's just to stop people owning dragons. I'm pretty sure. Like, I mean, do you know how expensive it is just to keep a lion? Dragon's gonna be insane. And you'll be like, oh, what we're gonna do? I've got a dragon. Yeah, they've got tanks and, you know, anti-air weaponries and missiles and jet fighters. You won't stand a chance with your dragon. You're going to be taken out, and you've got to be very inconspicuous with your dragon. Or not very inconspicuous. You've got to be very conspicuous with your dragon. Not like you can just rob a bank and escape and no one will know. It's like, no, everyone will know you robbed a bank. I'm sorry. Amount of a battery in your butt. No, you can get battery packs you can stick to your waist to land. You can even get battery packs you can mount on your back. Like, have you ever seen those old radios from, do you know, they used in the military? Do you have that for Foxcasters in Warhammer based on? Yeah, but they had massive battery packs you held on your back. She's actually taking a realism in the same sentence where she's telling us to hold a car battery in our lap. I didn't tell you to carry it. I didn't tell you, 1, to use a car battery. 2, look, you are aware battery operated radios exist, Talan, and some pretty powerful ones also exist. In fact, they're used by, you know, for military, for Coast Guard, they're used by a lot of services. Also used by, what's it called? You know, those small planes you can have, the propeller ones. Especially for like if you crash land somewhere and the plane's broken, you can have a separate the radio from it. plane radios need a lot of amp to transmit continually. I know, but batteries are incredibly very good to land. You can have good batteries that you can carry with you. It's like, you can have batteries you can carry on your back if you need to. A car battery might not even do the job. Also, it depends how far your journey is. If your journey is 10 minutes, yes, you can just have a battery operated one. If it's an hour, you can probably still have a battery operated one. If it's multiple hours or multiple days, then yeah, you can't have, that's what I said, you can't have a battery operated. You need to have something else then. But it depends how far your journey is. You can just carry it on your back if needs be. And how long you're journeying. So it's fine to land. Don't worry about it. If you get a dragon and use it to fly to the nearest bus station, we are giving the dragon to someone else. Look, most people, when they get a dragon, they just want to fly it around. And after 10 minutes, you're going to get sick anyway, so you're probably going to have to just come back home. Because, you know, flying off the back of a dragon is probably going to take a lot out of you. It's going to take a long while to get used to it. Unless, again, you build like an entire cockpit harness that you can put on its back. Oh gosh. Actually, a dragon like in How You Train Your Dragon might be the best one to get. Toothless would be great. It's a lot smaller. The only issue with Toothless is that the speeds at which Toothless flies at would tear your face off. And if you try holding on, you know, you're going to hurt yourself quite badly. And Toothless isn't so big, you could have like an entire cockpit on the back. I guess you could get yourself one of those Formula 1, you know, race suits with a proper helmet and stuff. And then you can put a harness on the back of... We know Toothless can have a harness on his back, and you can strap yourself into the harness. And you can train to ride it at a faster speed, so you ride it like, you know, one of those bikes. Maybe you could put a small seats into it as well. And then you'll be safe. I say a suit like Formula 1, a race suit, so doing a one that's designed for high friction. And so you protect your skin, protect your face and so on from the air. Except like a Blue Eyes White Dragon. Oh, Blue Eyes White Dragon. Yeah, I forgot about Blue Eyes. You reminded me, I want Blue Eyes. Might as well just get a horse. Horse riding is difficult. And expensive. Horses are also expensive. You need a lot of land. Like if you want to raise them properly and keep them properly. They want land to run around with. You don't necessarily need the land yourself. There's plenty of farms and stuff out there who are more than willing to. Actually, there's plenty of horse ranches and stuff out there. And where if a horse belongs to you, you fully own the horse. All you do is basically pay to rent a stable there and the horse, you know, to get taken care of. Some of them won't necessarily take care of the horse for you. Or they charge you to take care of a horse. If you don't want to get charged to take care of a horse, then you go over yourself, make sure it's fed, make sure everything's going on. There's certain stuff they will do, you know. clean up its poop and stuff. But proper care and maintenance is often, you know, the owner's job. And it's important that it should be the owner's job anyway. Because it helps build rapport with them. But yeah. So you don't necessarily need that, but those are expensive themselves. Like having a horse, expensive. Having a place to keep it, kind of expensive. When I get on a horse, they sense my heart is pure of whimsy and obey me because they respect me. Are you sure it's not just because you've been on those specially trained horses that have lots of different people riding them? And you know, they're very good with people. It depends where you are. There are actually plenty of places where owning a horse isn't that expensive. It even used to be that expensive in Britain for a while. Because again, if you didn't need to own the land, there's plenty of horse hunters and stuff. Never rode a horse. I'm taking a future hypothetical. Oh, riding horses is fun. You should give it a try. Just one day decide, you know, I'm gonna go to a petting zoo today. I'm gonna ride myself a horse. I know, you're gonna go to one of those, you're gonna take a horse riding class. You know. Go ride those Umas, Talan. Go get yourself an Uma. The closest horse to my current location is 400 kilometers. I don't believe that. You're in Austria, aren't you? Austria's full of horses. Austria is so chock full of horses. You can't go 5 feet without a horse being in your face. Oh no, wait, that's Austrians. Never mind. Oh god. That's nothing. No comment on Austrians. That's just a joke about me saying how chock full of horses it was. And for me not realising the difference between a human and a horse. Look, I played Uma Musume. It's very hard to tell the difference between a human and a horse. 399 kilometers now. They're closely approaching. Closely approaching. They're quickly approaching. Horses rapidly approaching your direction. No, do you just have a horse radar? I think you might need to retune it. Look at that thing just there. There's just a random spike coming out of the ground that's just absolutely clutching my Cappius carrier over here. He's sending me text. He's my Uber. Your Uber is a horse. I have an Uber horse. Why is Uber called Uber? It doesn't Uber mean great or epic. Like the Uber's right. You know, for a long time, my first, you know, foray into the word epic, like the first time I remember hearing it, was related to Epic Warhammer, which was Tiny Warhammer. I thought epic meant tiny, and sometimes I still trip over that. Like, it's epic. It's like, oh, it's tiny, small. It's microscopic. Yes, in this scenario, I've ordered an Uber, and the only one available is a horse. It's a horse, but it's 399. Yes, in this scenario, I've ordered an Uber, and the only one available is a horse that is 399 kilometers away, who is going to be really mad when I don't tip. Oh no. Talan, you have to tip the Uber. Give him your White King money. You need to give it to your White King. Have you built your White King yet, Talan? Did you cut the square base off? Oh my god. I can't believe it has instructions to tell you to cut the square base. I'm paying for a 400-kilometer trip. That might be a legit €1 million. Look, they don't charge you for how far it has to travel to get to you. And if they don't say they don't want the job, then it's their own fault. Now, I might start tonight if I don't find any other commission work. I always love the photon vehicles, but hated how they have points of marines and cost of night. Points of marines and cost of night. I don't understand that one, Shuffle, but hi, Shuffle. Like, do you mean they cost us in, like, money cost to buy them? Are they that expensive? And points of marines. I know the Hecaton carrier is pretty expensive in terms of points. How expensive are they? Shop. Warhammer 40k, Xenos armies, Leagues of Photon. Hecaton Land Fortress is 74 quid, which makes sense, it's a massive model. £42.50 for the Sagittaire. Feels a bit of a rip-off, to be honest. It's a decent model, decent sized model, got lots of cool stuff. I really like the cockpit of it. Look over here, it's got 3 spoons to it. More expensive than a Rhino, but impulsive price I'd say this one is, if I remember correctly. The Capicus carrier £38.50, slightly cheaper. And that one's a bit of a rip-off. I think this one might be fine. Shop, if we look at the knights though. Oops. Warhammer 40k, Armies of Imperium, Imperial Knights. Yeah, the Imperial Knights are a lot more expensive than them. The Warglaves are a bit cheaper than the Hecaton. Cupcake, aren't dragon scales tougher than any metal in games? If so, what will bullets do to it? It depends what, dragon scales are. It depends on your dragon. Certain dragons can definitely be killed by bullet. Have you ever seen that one where the dragons invade the modern world? Sure, the dragons actually win for a bit there, but whatever. But generally, it's not about how tough it is. Like, it doesn't matter how tough your armor is if you're being hit so hard your entire insides. Like, if you can hit a tank with enough concussive force to turn its occupants into soup, you don't have to destroy the tank or get through its armor. Same goes for, like, sure, if you get shot by a shotgun at close range and you're wearing a bulletproof vest, your bulletproof vest might stop any of the bullets getting through to you, but it's not going to stop your bones breaking. It's not going to stop your organs busting. Or you being thrown back. So yeah, being hit by, you know, by a missile at supersonic speed that goes... Yeah, that's going to do a lot to a dragon. The unskippable ads. Oh my gosh, YouTube's getting terrible. When just finished the hypothetical about horses driving Ubers. He's a bit dazed. Now, I'm not feeling well today. Space Marines. How expensive are Space Marine vehicles? I should have gone with something else. Yeah, oh no, for cheaper than Space Marine vehicles, like Cupcake carriers about equivalent to a Thunderstrike. Well, maybe it's more equivalent to a land speeder actually. It's a bit more expensive than an Invader. The Repulsive Executioner is about roughly the same price, was it, as the Hecaton, which makes sense. Predator Destructor is more expensive than the Sagittar. The Rhino is slightly cheaper than a Sagittar and a Capricus. The Flyers are about the same price as a Sagittar. Vindicator's more expensive. Gladiator's more expensive. Impulsor's 55 quid.
Shovel was saying that they are more expensive in the USA for as many points as they are.
Yeah. I know they're still expensive for as many points as they are. But I don't think like any other faction outside of Knights is doing any better. Or do you know that? I think Orcs are the worst ones. Like 60, 70 points per model. And they're expensive. That's just an issue with all Warhammer, especially with vehicles. Like, the Battle Wagon is cheaper than a Hecaton Land Fortress in terms of points, but way more expensive than it in terms of money. Hunter Rig and Kill Rig are the exact same. These things about the same price as a slightly cheaper than a Capricus carrier, so I guess you're better off there. Yeah. Outside of Knights, and maybe Custodies, I don't think there's really any faction that's doing well points per money for vehicles. Avid Tech Marine and Screen, Yeet. Native Engine is watching for ads, others are not because of ad blockers. Thank you, blockers. Thanks for your sacrifice. But for YouTube has been really terrible for me today. I've not been able to get it to work properly. I just keep getting it like, do you know when you have like an old CD that has a scratch on it and it kind of skips audio, or do you know, repeats, like it goes back half a second and repeats itself? I keep getting that every time I'm trying to listen to anything on YouTube right now. It's really annoying. It's like, I would be half tempted. Now I've not got the Combat Patrol magazine anymore. I would be half tempted to buy YouTube Premium. One, if Google wasn't just going all in on adverts, which is not adverts, AI, which means I don't want to give them any money. Two, if a blooming surface was better than it actually is. At the moment, it wants to charge me like 2 Netflix subscriptions for YouTube. If it's half a price, then yeah, I'd be tempted. If it was a quarter of a price, I'd probably have already bought YouTube Premium. And be like, it's worth the price, I guess. I had no problems like that. This is actually on YouTube with, that stuff on. Cupcake, have you ever listened to a song, Rocky Road to Dublin? Nope. I do wonder if they could just sell the vehicles cheaper. Games Workshop. Because, I mean, obviously they could always try selling them cheaper. Like, I don't know exactly what's going through Games Workshop's mind and stuff. Like, what makes things worth the prices they are? I can only guess. And I guess I do wonder if they could just make the vehicles, like, just knock off a $5 from the prices. Maybe, like, just knock off 20% of the price. Would they still sell them? And make a profit on them? I feel like they would do. I feel like more people would buy vehicles if they're 20% cheaper. I feel like they'd still make a profit on each one sold. And I feel like they'd still be selling enough of them to make it profitable in general. I don't know if it would increase or reduce the profits. I think it wouldn't make much difference. I think what money you'd be losing from selling them cheaper, you'll be gaining by selling more of them. Because that's one of the things is I buy more infantry because, you know, I don't buy that many vehicles. So if I do, it's because, you know, they're included in another box. I hate buying vehicles because it feels bad spending 60 USD on an 80-point Rhino. Yeah. As soon as you get outside of the UK as well, the prices also start going up, and the further away you get, the more expensive it gets. Because how expensive was that? Because they sold a box set, right, that had 3 vehicles in it. Each of them were about 50 quid. Just over. No, 2 vehicles. An Onega Dune Crawler, a Dune Rider, and the walking one. And it was expensive. It was cheap enough that you basically get one of the vehicles free. Compared to normal pricing. We're selling it for about 20% off anyway. So we might as well just do that anyway, you know. Actually, it might be more than 20% off. Although that would then make the bonus boxes probably wouldn't be as good deals. And they seem to be afraid of putting vehicles in these boxes anyway, you know, any decent vehicles. Like, sometimes you might get a Rhino inside it. Like doing your combat patrol. And often when you do, you might as well just get it because, you know, for Rhino at that point is often usually free. If you bought everything at normal prices. I don't know. I kind of understand certain vehicles, like, you know, the Knights and the Bane Blades being as expensive as they are. They're absolutely massive. They take up a lot of shelf room. But it's super annoying when, do you know, you get a vehicle and it comes in the same sort of box that an infantry does? Like, the infantry who is 20% cheaper than the vehicle, it comes in the same box. Yo, they're probably selling as much of the blooming vehicles. Or at least they would do if it was the same price. Hi, Radol, look how you're doing. I think the reason they're scared of combat patrol vehicles is because they're now meant to standalone boxes be. Well, it's not just combat patrols. It's like if you look at the battle forces they do. Outside of Tau, they don't often include recently much vehicles in it. Like for Tau, you often get your Ghost Keel in it. You get your Riptide, or that sort of stuff in your Battle Force boxes. In your Tyranid boxes, you often get your monsters. But then you look at you do get the Battle Force box. No, they have done 2 Battle Force boxes, I guess, with vehicles or Space Marines. But yeah, no, never mind. Maybe they are doing okay, but I was just thinking about the Chaos ones. Because all the Chaos ones recently have been, the only vehicles in them have either been a Rhino, or the closest thing is Lord Discordant or Demon Prince. They've not been putting Land Raiders in the boxes. Or Defilers in the... people were expecting the Defiler in the Battle Force and they just didn't get it in the Battle Force. Or doing a Vindicator or Predator. Doing something in the Battle Force. Or Forge Fiend or Mauler Fiend. Oh, do you know the battalion boxes where they combat patrol size, but it's not for combat patrol, so it's not in the combat patrol setting? So they don't need to balance it for it. I mean, they did do some. The Mechanicus did get 3 vehicles in a single box. And he got, the 2 Redemptors with an upgrade spoo. And 2 Dreadnoughts. That's to take into account for in Chaos. Aside the Chaos Space Marines, each Chaos faction has 5 models to it. Really killing viability in boxes building. Viability? Kind of, yeah. I think they could stop putting as many Legionnaires in those blooming Chaos boxes, if I'm honest. I'm doing alright, thanks. I'm currently staring at my last batch of Death Guard pile, annoyed that I dug into a box and found 2 Poxwalkers after I spent all night painting 71 in a batch. Oof. Where's just more to paint now? Maybe you can paint these ones, less speed paint, and more just, however you want to paint them. Maybe put a bit more time and effort into them. Or maybe just put them into your next speed painting. Maybe there'll be a different colour so it can match your other speed painting batch. With a Poxwalkers, it doesn't matter. Oh gosh, I just messed this up massively. Can you get corrupted by chaos by standing next to Poxwalkers? Yes. Yes, you can. Kind of. Disease spreads through Poxwalkers, but if you keep your mind clear, your faith strong, whatever, it can actually protect you from the corrupting taint of chaos on Poxwalkers. You don't necessarily need faith in the God Emperor. The strongest weapon against chaos is faith. And that faith can be in anything. It can be in yourself. It can be to another chaos deity. It can be in your empire. It can be in the greater good. All you need really is just a strong faith in something. Something that where if you believe in it strongly enough, it leaves your mind uncorruptible. Chaos can't get into there. Chaos can't get into your soul. Your soul effectively puts up a block. But once you get that doubt into there creeping in, once you gets all scared and anxious and stuff, that basically leaves gaps in your mental defenses that chaos can seep into. That's the power of faith in 40k. Again, it doesn't have to be into a God Emperor. Although, having faith in something like the God Emperor, you know, an actual godlike thing that actually exists and can protect you, does help. Again, you don't need it. Because every single person is kind of psychic. And all you're doing is effectively generating a small psychic shield around yourself. And around potentially others. Which is also why, like, consecrating objects is really important in Warhammer. Whether it be like the Sisters of Battle giving priests and stuff, making an object holy, or whether it be, you know, just having an object that has extreme sentimental value to it. And you know, you put a lot of faith, a lot of thought and feeling into that object, and suddenly the object can protect you when your own defenses start to weaken. Because effectively you've put a bunch of psychic residue into an object. And that psychic residue can protect you. Yay! Also, it just helps strengthen your resolve just by looking at it. Yeah, I think I'm batching the last of my models. It's 7 vehicles and 20-ish infantry. Oof. I had Morlophine lashes and War Dog Chainsaw too. Have them as flesh mowers, and now one with the lashes looks like it's dabbing. Nice! Make it dab! Make all your models dab. I wish these guys were easier to batch paint. They just got so many extra details on them. It's very time consuming just painting every single detail. And with my shaky hands at the moment, it's very difficult. There we go. Yeah, Death Guard is the army I'd recommend if you want to speed paint. Yeah, my oh, are they? I'm hoping these guys will be relatively easy to paint. Oops. Oh, its arm fell off. No, that's fine. I'll just glue it back on. Where's my super glue? There you go. Yeah. My soul grinders. I'm hoping I'll be able to speed paint them relatively quickly. Basically just by throwing contrasts at them. And then like just rust. I don't know what colour I'll paint them first. And for like do what undercoat. I'm thinking ultramarines blue undercoat. Because they're meant to be Night Lord walkers. Although maybe I'll get myself some Death Guard green. I'll paint this guy with a Death Guard green, do you know the top part? Undercoat first, and I'll do the undercoat at the bottom in Night Lord colours. In the ultramarine one. Oh darn it, these things keep falling off on it. It's really hard to glue them on properly. I did 15 models in the last 10 days. It's kind of what I did with some of my orc things, like doing my kill rig. To save time, I just undercoated it with I undercoated the squig of the kill rig in red, And I undercoated the rest of the kill rig in blue. Also, a great thing about how I've done these guys is, if you look at this, I can just go, ka-donk. And that's not water or anything, that's just dried and cured resin. But it's the water effect resin, so it's shiny. It looks like it's wet. And I can just magnetize it. It's amazing. And then I can... The magnetized base is as much about storing it easier as it is about painting it easier. Okay, I need to BRB for like 50 seconds because I need to go to the little cupcake room. I apologize. Wash, wash, bish, brush. When I'm going. And then I'll BRB. Bam, bam, bam. I'm back. Hi. Hi, back with chat. Need another glove. There we go. That's 2 gloves. There we go. And oh, I do not feel that well today. I am struggling. I get some busy work done though. Okay, what other parts do I want black? That's the thing I'm looking at now. Like, I want all these bars and stuff to be black around, you know, where the bags are being held on. I don't want the suspension to be black. That could be good, I guess. I want the weapons to be like, oh, I need that thing to be black. The smoke launchers. Maybe these things at the front should be black too. Yeah, I'll do them. I'm thinking these things at the bottom will be yellow. That will be yellow. That will be yellow. 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 Most of the things in here will be yellow. Yellow. This bit yellow. Those wires we'll keep red. We have a suspension. Yeah, a suspension I should probably do black as well. Yeah. Oh gosh, I am tired. Let's move that out of the way. Oh yeah, there's bits of my wormy things that are sticking out for you for Soul Grinder's eyes. Milliput, yeah. But they kept breaking off and falling off, so in the end it was like, no. It might have been the Nurgling's horns or tongue. In the end, just decided to replace it with green stuff. Oh yeah, I wanted this bit black. The next Thursday, I'll try to undercoat the Soul Grinders. I've recently been watching Biffy because I finished Overlord. Biffy Eyes. Biffy Lorette Eyes Song, I think it's called. It's a very strange anime. Very strange. Seems a bit kind of poignant. Very beautifully animated though. Which is nice. Can't say I know it. Oh, it's on Netflix right now. I started watching it a long time ago, but never got around to, you know, finishing it. I'm so paranoid, I'm forgetting Death Guard models. I'm triple checking every box now. This is what happens when you have way too many models. I organize all of my models into, well, not quite all of them, but into containers, not containers. Army boxes, so doing enough magnetized metal trays and stuff. And they're separated by army. Too many, absolutely not. It's barely 1,000 figure threshold. But your pets are too hype right now. Yeah, that's what happens with pets. They get hyper. And if you need lots of attention, do pets. One of the reasons why I don't get pets, why I don't want to have pets. I don't have the energy for them. They're all hyper. Which is sad. So I should probably never have kids. Because I never will. There we go. I like other people's pets and babies. I don't want my own pet to baby. You like other people's babies. Children are the worst. Especially babies. Like, which is why adoption is supreme, because you can skip the entire baby process and just be like, yeah, I'll have them as, you know, a young kid. A toddler, please. Asmon Go just bought a... I expect Death Guard to be more popular. Aren't Death Guard like the most popular of the Chaos factions? Also, I can't remember who Asmongold is, I apologize. I know they're not babies. But yeah, cats, at 2 or 3 years old, cats and dogs are still extremely hyperactive. They won't stop being as hyperactive until they're like 8 or 9, maybe. Most popular streamer right now. Never heard of them. Okay. Okay, I'm having to Google them. Oh, he's a super controversial one. Yeah, he's a bad one, isn't he? Oh, super controversial one, because he only got the other guy, who I also get confused with, who's nowhere near as controversial, but also has long hair. Yeah, let's not talk about that one. I don't want mentions of these people in my streams. Actually, bringing up other streamers in people's streams, generally bad. I grew up in the 90s, so it's the first time I ever heard anyone say that. 40k is blowing up. 40k is blowing. 40k blew up a long time ago. It basically 8th edition started. It was during the entire pandemic where 40k really took off. Where it was already started to take off. 8th edition, it took off a bit more with the entire release of Primaris range. Then you had, what else went on? The Warhammer Total War series helped popularize it a bit. The Bolt Gun series helped increase its popularity a bit. I mean, Dawn of War series helped increase it as well. But then you had the massive explosion that was Space Marine 2's release. And that was absolutely massive. But the only other explosion of popularity that's been close to that is... what's his name? Time for anime. 40k reached me in 10th, so it's growing every day. Yeah. I actually got into 40k around 5th edition. Or technically with a 4th edition box set. And then I went out around the same time 8th edition was coming out, but I was already like well out of it. I didn't even realise Primaris had become a thing by then. Because I've been actually just looking at when different boxes came out and like, I remember this box coming out. But that was like when I thought I'd already quit maybe. Like, for certain boxes I don't remember, that's because I wasn't following it as strongly. I was focusing on exams and stuff. Then I came back with 10th, because 10th had Leviathan, and I was like, oh, it's Battle of McCrack all over again. Starties and Space Marine 2 did a lot of heavy lifting, also Bricky videos. I don't know who Bricky is, apologise. Yeah, so I live under a rock. So don't worry about me. You'll mention people and I'll be like, I don't know them. Often if I do know them, it's because they became newsworthy controversial. Is YouTube still working? Is the stream still going? So YouTube just told me it wasn't working anymore, but as far as I can tell, everything was still working on my side. I did drop 89 frames. We can't go a week without having a reaction of some VTuber normally reacting to Bricky's All Factions Explained. No idea. Back again. Hi, Native Engine, welcome back. Did you know that someone made 3D printed chain axe, chainswords, and power fists and orc claws? Yeah, you can buy loads of 3D printed stuff on eBay, Etsy. Both of them have lots of stuff going on there. Where's that model? I think I got this one on eBay actually, not Etsy. I can't remember, it might have been Etsy. I know I saw it on eBay as well, I can't remember which one was cheaper. Unfortunately it was a lot smaller than I expected. It did come on a 60mm base as it said, but yeah, it was not full Demon Prince scale unfortunately. Kinda sucked. So, no. There we go. I'd first have to find out who this Bricky is. I actually stay away a lot from 40k. What's it called? What's the word? YouTube. Because there's just too much weird controversy things on 40k YouTube. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to bother with any of this, so sorry. On top of this, I know 40k well enough. I don't need to be watching lore videos and stuff generally. if I do want to read the lore, I literally just want to read the lore. I don't want to watch someone else tell me about it. And often when you watch people, you know, talk about the lore, they're often going to be incorrect, to add their own spin to things. I want to add my own spin to it. Oh yeah, there's a lot of controversy stuff to dig through to reach the nuggets. Yeah, also, one of the things is, every so often on shorts, I get recommended, like, Warhammer stuff. And some often, I do have some of them, like, for painting tips, but some of them are just so weirdly aggressive. But it just makes me feel really upset about playing Warhammer. It's like, I don't want to deal with this person being aggressive and angry about everything as he's, you know, doing something. I just want to do my. I have found actually, there's been someone whose shorts have been recommended to me. And for the most part, they're just kind of wholesome and funny. And they kind of inspired me to want to make my own similar sort of short. I'm like, yeah. I need to get the angry ones. But for ones where it's like, you have to do it this way. I'm watching lore videos all the time. Only problem I find, Xenos the most interesting and very neglected. Very neglected by the official lore, to be fair. I will be, when the Exodite books and stuff arrive, I will be talking about the Exodites on stream and reading through the lore section of the new Kill Team book, the Exodite dossier. But yeah, the Xenos are kind of neglected. It's like, one of the things that's really upsetting about the lore books we read. Oh, what did I do? You're reading through each of the campaign books, and you've got Corsairs versus Corsairs, Red Corsairs versus Eldari Corsairs. You've got Iron Warriors versus Mechanicus, and then the Armageddon one. The Eldari Corsairs in that lore book was so neglected. It was basically just Chaos Spaceman lore book. Eldari got a few little pages here and there. They got one story in the entire book, and it absolutely sucked for them. It was just such like a punch in the face to being an Eldari enjoy, especially like a Corsair. If you like your Corsair, you want to see something fun, instead just get, no. Not allowed anything fun. I've not read fully for 500 Worlds one. I have been thinking about maybe doing that on stream. It does, from what I've glanced at it does seem to go over the neck ones to some decent extent. The Armageddon book wasn't too bad for Orc lore. Although it did mostly focus on Yaret. Literally so mostly focused on Yaret, and like even the Imperial characters barely got anything. I'm buying for Exodites first chance I can. Or I got the box. I was just like, I want the Orcs. I want the Exodites. I kind of want the Orcs. And I want the lore book. That's my main thing. I really wanted that lore book. That's what sold me on them in the end. I should collect my Chaos Space Meme backlog into a box and figure out what there is. It's unfortunately quite easy to drum up manufactured rays no matter the fandom. Yeah. To be fair, that's actually one of the reasons why I stopped Warhammer. This was before a lot of the social media stuff, because I mean, I wasn't really into the social media, because it wouldn't be a while until I got like a decent connection to it all. Via a good internet and, you know, having phone and computer and stuff. But it was just like every time I went to a shop or went to a local club, everyone just seemed so angry all the time, and I just wanted to have fun. This is a place where I wanted to go and I wanted to relax. And it was just so difficult to. Warhammer... Honestly, right now, Warhammer feels a lot nicer than what it used to be, in general. Especially if you just filter away for a lot of these people who like the manufactured ways, who want to complain about stuff. Whether it be other people, Games Workshop, or whatever. And it's nice. Like, there's a lot of people who just want to have fun in the hobby right now. And I think that's partly because, you know, it's more normalized. It's like, if all you want to do is paint, then all you want just paint models. If all you want to do is build models and you don't really care about painting them, you don't have to care about painting them. Not everyone's army has to be a top-notch army. And just because your opponent doesn't have a well-painted army doesn't mean that it makes your day any worse. You're both there just to play the game and have fun. It's about helping one another have fun. It's a multiplayer game. If you are playing the game, you have to remember it's a multiplayer game. It's a hobby. And both people are there to have fun and to help one another have fun. You asked your mother to get your Horus Heresy Tactical Squad. Oh, I hope you get one. I also need to figure out what to do with my 3 old Defilers because I own 3 new ones. I can never play 6 at a time. It depends. If you paint 2 of them up as Death Guard, 2 of them up as Saiyans ones, and 2 of them up as Slaaneshi ones, then you're going to need to get 2 more. So you could have 2 Kharn ones, 2 Slaaneshi ones, 2 Saiyans ones. Oh, that's amazing. So have one of your old ones painted as Nurgle, one of your new ones painted as Nurgle, one of your old ones painted as Saiyans, one of your new ones painted as Saiyans, one of your old ones painted as Slaanesh, one of your new ones painted as Slaanesh. And then what you can do, you can find on eBay or something one of the old ones, paint it up like Kharn, and get another new one and paint it up like Kharn as well. And then you'd have one of, oh, it'd be so amazing. Oh. And you can play in an apocalypse game and have a World Eater army, a Death Guard army, a Saiyans army, a Slaaneshi army, an Emperor's Children army, Thousand Suns World Eater, Death Guard. Oh, but then you need a Chaos Space Marine army now. So you need one painted up, an old one painted up as Black Legion, a new one painted up as Black Legion. I should probably get one painted up as like Night Lord as well. You know, both old and new. And, you know, Iron Warrior ones as well. You need some Iron Warriors in there. You know, what I'm telling you is you don't have enough Defilers. This is what you're telling me, I think. Unfortunately, they're all painted for new ones. I batch paint as Iron Warriors the weekend we release, but I could repaint for old ones as Monogod units. No, so what you're telling me, you got 3 Iron Warrior ones, off the new ones. So now you need to get 3 for each and every single faction, sub-faction of the Chaos Warriors. That's what... Literally, that's how my mind works when it comes to Warhammer. It's like, I don't care if I can't play everything at once. It's like with my my Black Templar, I have almost all of the units, I have more than enough to play, you know. But it's because my army lists are divided into detachments, and each detachment needs to be fully functioning and in itself, by itself, in a vacuum, and painted up as its own detachment. And then I can't have like models of another detachment with it. That would be crazy. Unless I'm playing an army that uses a mix of detachments. The idea of a model for each Chaos God but War Dogs is on my dream list. That sounds fun. Make that Warhound Titans! Oh, so I need 3 of each of the 9 Traitor Legions and also 3 for Red Corsairs. Yeah! I think so. That's what I'm telling you. 3 old and 3 new. You know, just in case. Just in case one day you don't want to play your new. Maybe you want to play your old ones. Maybe you're feeling nostalgic. Or maybe you want to play some new ones and some old ones. You know? I mean, obviously, if you're deciding to play Death Guard and you want some Defilers, you can't just have a Night Lord Defiler there. That would be great. That would be crazy. Not Night Lord, Iron Warrior Defiler. I mean, would anyone accept, as a proxy, an Iron Warrior Defiler? Crazy. No one would accept that. You're like, hey, I know I'm playing Death Guard, but this model that's painted as Iron Warriors, yeah. Remember in old tournaments, apparently, if your model wasn't painted in the correct army, you couldn't use it. And then they quickly backtracked on the idea. Oh gosh. Who hates Erebus? Everyone hates Erebus. Although without Erebus, we wouldn't have 40k, so let's all spend a moment to thank Erebus for making 40k for us. It would have been hilarious if Erebus's real name was literally just one of the founders of Warhammer 40k. Oh wait! Isn't there like 3 founders of Warhammer 40k? It'd be funny if they just took like each of their names and then it's like Erebus's real first name, last name and middle name is just each of their names. It'd be hilarious. Part of the reason why I'm playing as many Chaos Armies as I do is because a good portion of my models can be used cross factions. Yeah, it's one thing that has occurred to me with my Night Lord army. Because I've got like 2 squads of Plague Marines currently. And I've got 2 Hellbrutes in my Plague Marine army, my Nurgle Night Lord army. I've got 2 Soul Grinders. Actually, 2 Soul Grinders can't be used in Death Guard. That absolutely sucks. I wish the Mono God Legions got access to all of the Chaos Engines and all of the Chaos Demons in their respective faction. Because that just absolutely sucks that you can't play a Soul Grind of Nurgle in your Death Guard list. And you can't just like play a Plague Bearer character in your Death Guard list. I said hi, Night Parade. Did I say hi? I can't remember. But what do I have in that list? Yeah, oh yeah, I've got 5 Terminators, which I could always use as Polite Lord, even though 2 of them are technically Death Shroud. And then I've got... my Chaos Sorcerer of Nurgle in Terminator armor could easily just be anyone you know, a Nurgle character in Terminator armor. I could use my 10 Traitor Guard as Poxwalkers. My Havocs don't have any options in Nurgle, unfortunately, in Death Guard. Demon Princess Defilers, Predators, both Mauler Fiends and Forge Fiends. You can't use... and you can just defy stuff like Chaos Lord as the Empress Children Lord. Ended up with a lot of army that way, yeah! I know my Saiyans army I could make pretty easily. It's got Burning Chariot I don't think I can use in Thousand Suns. I can use my blue horrors though. I can use both my Rubik squads. I can use my Demon Prince of Siege. I can use both Forge Fiends of Siege. I can use
Hello, Cupcake.
all my Siege Sorcerers. Hi, Rainbow Dash. There we go. Oh, and I can use my Noise Marines in my Emperor's Children army. And my Mauler Fiends. Terrorgeist Mauler Fiends. I can't use my Cultist though, which sucks. Can we use my Demon Prince? Winged Demon Princess Slanesh? I don't know if there's anything you can proxy a Venom Crawler for in Death Guard. I don't think anything is on the same base size, 100 milliliters. Thank you, Michael. Oh no, Van Sweet and kind. Venom Caller could be a mythic fight horse hauler, but yeah, base is too large. Yeah. And I guess if I magnetized it to its base, it would be possible. But it's fine. I only own one noise marine unit, but I'm pretty sure I can field a whole Emperor's Children army easily from Chaos Marines, Chaos Knights, and Demons. Potentially. I guess if you really squint, you can say it's a war dog. Maybe. I guess every unit doesn't need to be able to convert over. Ultimately, I would feel weird using my Night Lords as, you know, Mono God faction. I'd just much rather use them with Pact Bound Zealot, which I hope they never get rid of. And like, you know, they always keep that sort of thing. I also hope that they keep proper Chaos Demons for all of the Chaos factions. And that they just upgrade what demons you can get from Mono Gods. Oh my gosh, it sucks! I always feel a bit disappointed. I mean, it doesn't suck massively. I understand why they do it. It's just... I want to make a thematic army. I want to take, like, my Herald of Khorne in my, well, they're not called Heralds of Khorne, are they, anymore? Whatever they're called. In my World Eater Demonkin army. Because my favourite part of Chaos is just taking demons, if I'm entirely honest with you. And all the demonic stuff. Because, I mean, that's why you do Chaos, for demons. If you're not getting demons, you might as well just play Space Marines. Nah. That's not true. But you know what I mean. For me, the demons are a big part of why I want the Chaos Army. Have you ever painted any of the Chaos kill teams? Nope, I've not painted a single Chaos model. Well, actually, I have in the past, but I think most of my Chaos... Yeah, all my Chaos models were Warhammer Fantasy Chaos. And they were a mixed army. I had some Khorne units, some Slanesh ones, some Nurgly ones. In fact, I even had a Chaos Lord. I can't remember exactly what it was. But I remember you could give him like some Nurgle armor and like a Carnate axe. I can't remember if he could have the Mark of Chaos. I think he might have had to have the Mark of Chaos undivided to do that. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure I remember giving him the Mark of Nurgle and he had a Carnate axe. But either way, that was really fun, and it was a poleaxe or a halberd. I joked to my friend that next edition, each Monogod Legion would get an upgraded sprue to turn the Demon Primarchs into generic Lord monsters of their Codex releases. That wouldn't be a bad idea. But I don't see how it would work. I think it would be pretty cool though. Like, do you know Special Demon Princess? Or whatever. I don't think they'd ever do that. I am hoping that this edition they do release like a new, I've mentioned it before, but massive range refresh for Chaos Demons that just spans every single, you know, game system we've got. Like you pick up one of the boxes and it's just got every single game faction logo on it. Because you can use them in Horus Heresy, Warhammer 40k, Age of Sigmar, or Old World. And with the release, it gives you a book for each of them as well. So if you want to use them in Old World, you'll have a Chaos Demon book. And the Chaos Demon book will include rules for how to include them in your, you know, generic Chaos army. That being said, I do not think the only thing about the Soul Grinder I feel it could do with being upgraded with is I don't think it needs to be replaced. Just give it an upgrade kit. You know, so you can change it out better. Like, maybe the upgrade kit can have just different body options. So it can be upgraded into a Plague Hulk. Or, you know, each of the monogods a bit easier. That would be fun. It's a very fun kit as it is. Like, I built two of them, I'm like, I really enjoyed that kit. I mean, I know I kit bashed the hell out of it and sculpted my own stuff onto the model. But it is surprising, like, how much it still holds up today. Like, even with how much, oh darn, I got paid. I thought I was going to survive to the end of the month. Next month. Guess who's going to buy some models? No! The Chaos Cult has some of my favourite models. I'm also hoping we get Legion of the Damned in 40k. Like, oh, actually, no, I did paint Chaos models in 40k. They were Legion of the Damned models. Well, they weren't technically Legion of the Damned, they were conversions. They like turning Marauders, hit bashing them with Katachan to turn them into, like, Chaos Guardsmen. And smashing up some Chimeras and stuff for Chaos. Yeah, those were I didn't have much Chaos Legion of the Damned, but they were always my favourite part. And if we get better Legion of the Damned stuff, they would be again become my favourite part of Chaos Space Marines right now, where Chaos Space Marine Chaos. At the moment, I prefer... It goes like this for me. Noise Marines are my favourite Chaos model. Then after that, probably the demon-y stuff. Like pretty much all the demons. I love Flesh Hounds. I love Screamers. I love the Discs of Siege. It hurts that we don't. I love Juggernauts, and it hurts that we don't yet have Siege. Do you know Rubik? Not Rubik Marines. Thousand Suns on Discs of Siege, like a squad of them. We have to have the Sangor instead. Oh. And you know, for World Eater Juggernauts, we don't have them yet outside of the one character. Like, we need squads of World Eaters and Juggernauts. Come on, Games Workshop. I'm trying not to buy new models. The Red Corsairs Combat Patrol tested me yesterday. Yeah, I'm also trying not to buy models. I am being tested a bit. I've already bought some models this month. What did I buy? I bought... Oh yeah, I bought these guys. These guys tested me. Go on eBay. Plus, this is not grey, by the way. I didn't technically increase my pile of grey. It's blue. It's blue. It's not grey. My pile of grey remains the same. This is blue. Pile of blue. It's also extremely brittle, my goodness. Oh no. Maybe it's not that brittle. It feels a lot more brittle than because I accidentally snapped this off. But yeah. Photon, yeah, we're painting Photon today. So I got those Seaching guys from the Underworld, Age of Sigmar Underworld stuff to use in my 40k army. I'll just be using them in place of like different horrors, except for Sorcerer guy. I'll just put on a 40mm base and call him a Sorcerer of Siege. I have Elder Corsairs to finish. I'm working on. I've got way too many projects. I've still got my entire Photon army to paint, pretty much. I've still got to finish those Marines I started ages ago. I've still not finished my Mechanicus models. I'm very close to finishing the Mechanicus models I've got built. Like, finished painting them. You have Emperor's Children you're painting up? Ooh, that's cool. Noise Marines! I got 2 squads of Noise Marines. Night Lord Noise Marines, but Noise Marines. If you're wondering what the heck Night Lord Noise Marines, it's because I was getting the... What do we call it? The Combat Patrol magazine, and it came with Chaos. And I was like, what do I want to make for mass? Do I want to make them Night Lords? Do I want to see... I was playing Space Marine 2 at the same time. I was like, I really want to make a Siege army. I also wanted to make like a Nurgle army. And I also wanted to make a Thousand Sons, an Emperor's Children army, because I love Noise Marines. In the end, I decided Night Lords that have fallen to Chaos. We're split into 4 groups. Those that haven't fallen to Chaos, those that fell to Nurgle, those that fell to Slaanesh, and those that fell to Siege. Because my warband absolutely sucked after a power struggle, and they were like, I need more power. Let's use the Chaos Gods. I've resisted them for so long, but now I need the power. So yeah, that meant that there's some Night Lord Noise Marines. I have a 250 to 350 budget a month for 40k when a school starts in a month. A month budget? What the heck? That's a lot of money to spend on Warhammer. I don't know what my budget actually is. Currently, this month, last month I was trying not to buy Warhammer. I know I bought the Exodite box because I really wanted the Exodite box. But I'm trying not to spend any money on Warhammer this month. Outside of, you know, just something I need. I did buy some stuff. And I bought another box, mostly just to get free packaging. Posting and packaging on, like, you know, glue and paints and what was it? That liquid resin stuff we got so I can do water bases. You can always run Chaos Undivided. Yeah, I don't want to run Chaos Undivided. I don't like the Black Legion, I don't like the Word Bearers very much either. Although Word Bearers have been growing on me after reading about them. Would you ever do a sword? I don't know what a sword outfit is. Sorry. I'm gonna get this kill team starts. That's a very... I do think the Kill Team starter set's a bit overpriced for what it is, but it is still a very good box to buy. Yeah, I didn't want to run Chaos Undivided because Chaos Undivided is generally someone who's not fallen to any particular Chaos God. I wanted Night Lords because I like Night Lords. Baby in an army I wanted ever since I was little, but never could get. I wanted to do for other armies as well. So in the end I just thought, you know what? Night Lords that fell to Chaos. Like, within my Night Lord warband, there's just a bunch of cults that formed. How it actually goes is that the person who's at the warlord of the warband was starting to lose his grip on his power over the warband, as his second in command was communing with sentient demons. And he was a sorcerer for second in command. So the Knights of the Warlord was like, yeah, my power is weakening after 10,000 years, like his physical power, and so much exposure to the war. So it was like, the only way I can really maintain my grip here is if I commune with a demon myself and try to gain psychic powers, you know, sorceress powers. So he communed with a demon of Nurgle, and he brought with him his chosen, like his best soldiers and stuff, his most loyal ones, giving them the gift of Nurgle. And obviously he was trying to use the demons. He didn't actually fall decay. He's just trying to use Nurgle for its own means. Nurgle's not using him, definitely. Although I think he might have given up on that idea for now. And when he saw this, the second in command, who was a sorcerer, was like, oh my gosh, he's become a sorcerer. That means I'm no longer needed. He might just kill me any day now. So I need to strengthen my own power. I need to consolidate what power I've got. I need to commune with the demons more. I need to get my own, like, people who are loyal to me. Strengthen them with siege. Figure out how to make my own rubrics. Like, he stole a bunch of, you know, went to old battlegrounds of a thousand suns, collected bits of the armor and did rituals to bring back the Rubik Marines. Meanwhile, all this power struggle was going on. The mortals on the ships, you know, all the interns, the serfs. Amongst them, a woman was starting to gain power, you know, and spreading a Slaneshi cult, but it went completely unobserved by most of the Night Lords. So they even brought in some of these, you know, made some more Space Marines and for mortals, but those mortals are already corrupted by Slanesh and they became Noise Marines and stuff. And by the time anyone realized, it was a bit too late because she had already become a Demon Prince. And for like, we can either have a battle against her to try and get rid of her, which will probably cripple our entire warband, or we can just use her, give her a seat at the table. Sword Tarfit is a loyalist Emperor's Children Marine for Horus Heresy. He fought in Isstafan 3. Ooh. That sounds fun. I don't have any plan to do such a model yet. I mean, maybe one day, I never know. I plan a Crimson Fist army with Pedro Cantor, an Ultramarines First Company army led by Caldo, an Eldari Corsair army, a Red Corsair army, Sisters Orcs. That's a lot of armies. Oh, and Nids. Yeah, Nids. I got way too many armies right now. I'm so happy I managed to get really ugly possessed models. Gosh, they're so ugly, I love them. This should be nice and ugly, you know? Yeah. Happy for you. I guess I should start buying bases of the 30 old Night Lord troops and the 10 ugly possessed I bought at a convention. Ooh. Hot take, Crimson Fists are just better Black Templars. No! They never like Black Templars, to be honest. You're saying this to a person who has a 40,000 point army of Acquisitors? Which are my own, basically, Black Templar homebrewy chapter. But no, they're nothing like the Black Templars, are they? The Crimson Fist. The Hospilitus, you could argue, are just better Black Templars. They're very similar to the Black Templars in a lot of ways. Harder armor to paint since they're white and red rather than black and white. Well, Crimson Fists are more just like the Imperial Fists, the better Imperial Fists. I mean, originally Crimson Fists were the founding chapter of the, you know, Imperial Fists and stuff. But eventually, because they already had the Ultramarines, they didn't want 2 blue founding chapters of the Loyalists, so they made the Crimson Fist the successor, and the Imperial Fists became the founder. But the Imperial Fists and the Crimson Fists have a lot of similarities. They act very similar to one another. They're definitely, you know, brother chapters. If Dawn was here, he'd side with the Crimson Fists over Black Templars. Yeah. I mean, if Dawn from the Great Crusade or early Horus Heresy was here, he would definitely side with the Crimson Fists. Late Horus Heresy, and after the Horus Heresy especially, he might side more with the Black Templars, to be honest. I mean, remember all the stuff he was doing. Because don't forget, the Eternal Crusade of the Black Templars is partially a Crusade of Atonement as well. And that's what Rogel Dawn was all about at the end of it all. The Crimson Fist and the Black Templars represent 2 sides of Dawn's personality, the 2 extremes in a lot of ways. You've got the side, the more reserved side, the extremely stoic side that, you know, everyone knew, and that's the Crimson Fist. And then you've got the extremely angry, righteous, you know, the side that he kept kind of bottled up until, you know, his brother died, and the Emperor, he failed the Emperor in his own mind. Yeah, that side is basically what the Black Templars represent of him. It's also very possible if he came back now, he'd be completely different to how he was at the height of the Horus Heresy and the Great Crusade and stuff. I kind of hope that if they do bring him back, they'll bring him back as a Black Templar character. But one you can potentially use in the Imperial Fist as well. Because that would just be fun. It'd also be good to give the Black Templars a Primarch leveled, you know, melee threat. Crimson Fist always feel they are less stubborn versions of Imperial. Oh wait, are they the less stubborn ones? I can't remember. While Crimson Fist and Black Templars are both successors, chapters of the Imperial Fist. I believe in the Soul Drinkers. I can't remember who is and isn't of them. I know they're both successors, but they're completely different chapters. It's like comparing them is like... Despite both being successors, it's like comparing White Scars to the Dark Angels. It's like, well, they both have the, you know, famous for using bikes. It's like, not really. Like, they might both be successor chapters, but the entire way they operate, the entire way they work, it's just completely different to one another. Heck, there's even arguments that the Black Templars might not even be successors of the Imperial Fists. Although that kind of, any sort of analogy to that completely disappeared when the Black Templars brought the Imperial Fists back. Confirming once and for all that yes, they are successors of Dawn and not the Word Bearers or World Eaters. Because if you don't know, that used to be an actual theory. That they weren't Sons of Dawn at all. But then you had the entire events of, you know, the Beast and stuff. And the Imperial Fist chapter needed to be refounded. But no, the Black Templars, they represent a complete extreme of the Imperium. They represent basically the Sisters of Battle sort of personality, but within the Space Marines. It's like, it doesn't really matter who their successor chapter are, because they don't act like it. They don't care about the Codex Astartes. They don't really get along with the other chapters mostly that well. Depending on who you're reading, who's writing the books, and how Games Workshop's feeling about it, to be honest. But still, for theory, the Blood Ravens are successors of 1,000. Yeah, for all of the ones with unconfirmed Primarchs, those theories are still strong. And I like those theories. I think it's very fun. The Blood Ravens could definitely still be successors of the Blood Angels, though. Because the Blood Angels were also famous of their librarians. Or they could be successors of, you know, for other ones who's famous having lots of, you know, Psychus. Even though they deny that for Psychus. The Space Wolves, yeah! Although then they'll have the Wolfincus and stuff, so, you know. It's probably not them. The new Primaris Soul Drinkers chapter might be Dawn's Sons, but the original chapter, Origins, were left in doubt after the events of their novels. Oh. It's very possible that the Soul Drink, because there's rumours that when he made the Space Marines, the Primaris Space Marines, he didn't stop with just the Loyalist Primarchs. And that many of the Primaris chapters might actually be, you know, from the Chaos Primarchs instead. Or from something else entirely, you know. Crimson Fist was the first Space Marine models Games Workshop ever produced. They were on for cover boxes and stuff. Early Warhammer lore was absolutely crazy. Early Warhammer lore had female Space Marines. Space Marines were convicts that were, you know, turned into Space Marines. Space Marines weren't super soldiers, or at least they were super soldiers the same way that, you know, spacecraft games they are. They're in power armor. They hopped up on all sorts of chemicals and stuff. And steroids. That's basically how the Space Marines used to be. A lot more grimdark than, arguably a lot more grimdark than current Space Marines, but I'd argue current Space Marines are way more grimdark. You know, by the fact that you're basically taking children away. Most of them will die. And then you indoctrinate them. And when it was like, you know, convict labor kind of, the expense of a Space Marine was still expensive, but kind of minimal. when you add it to in the current setting, the cost of making a Space Marine is so exorbitant that it's honestly just complete waste having Space Marines. Which isn't to say that they're useless. It's just to say that for every Space Marine that you make, you could have like 100 guardsmen, like 100 elite soldiers, potentially 1,000 elite soldiers with the way that some other chapters recruit. You know, you can just take a bunch of people, train them up, and the entire it's just the length of time that you go through training them up, the amount of effort you go to make them, then the expense of their equipment and so on. You could spread that out, and you could just have like guardsmen who are equipped so much better, who are trained so much better. They'll be able to do pretty much everything a Space Marine can do. And it's kind of proven time and time again that, you know, things like Tempestus Saiyans, Kassakin, and, you know, other elite guardsman formations are incredibly well equipped, incredibly well trained, and experienced. Are just straight up bet. Maybe not like one-on-one, straight up better than Space Marines, but the fact is when you could have like 1,000 Kassakin, or 1,000 Tempestus Saiyans for each Space Marine, it's like, yeah, no Space Marine is worth 1,000 Kassakin. It's, heck, in the Hall of Cadia and so on, you had World Eaters, you know, empowered by Chaos demons supporting them, and for every 30 Kassakin, I think, actually, was it even for every 30? Less than... For every 30 Kassakin that died, one Space Marine died. And for multiple Kassakin that had wiped out like many Space Marines. It's like, yeah, that just makes it all the more grimdark that we put all these resources into making a Space Marine and there's no logical reason to do it. Like, maybe if you wanted to make some extremely elite commanders, you could do something like that. But then you don't need chapters of Space Marines. You could just make 1,000,000 skilled commanders. Oh. There's a shout of a dark for soul drinkers because Cephadon had this weird obsession with recovering the Spear of Dawn, at least from what I remembered. Those are just lore-wise, and they retconned the idea of female Space Marines. It was already a part of established lore. The reason for it was practically 100% failure rate because the gene seed was based off the Emperor's DNA, which he is male. Yeah, they added the that later with the gene seed and stuff, I believe. I don't think that was straight. That was the initial thing that they did. The main reason that they ultimately got rid of female Space Marines is that they simply just didn't sell well enough. And they instead brought them back as Sisters of Battle. Also, you had a lot, even back then, you had people complaining about female soldiers in their war game. Which didn't help. One of the main differences between Astartes and Elite Guardsmen is that Astartes can move around the galaxy on their own. Guardsmen need the Navy. Yeah. Although you could easily make, like, in the theoretical that instead of making Space Marines, we make Tempestus Scion or Kassakin level Guardsmen. Or do you know, just do other genetic mutations as well? Because there's plenty of worlds that have them like Guardsman regiments that, you know, the genetically modified humans. They go through all sorts of weird treatments and so on, but they're a lot safer, they're much more survivable. They're nowhere near Space Marine level, but they're well above normal Guardsman level. You could do that sort of stuff with them. So you got super elite Kassakin, super elite Tempestus Scions. And then you give them their own naval force. Give them the ability to operate where and when they need to. And suddenly, instead of having 1,000 space marines that need to spread across the galaxy, you've got 1,000,000 guardsmen. You've got 1,000,000 elite genetically modified super troops who aren't space marine level, but they're basically going to be something like Spartan level. That's what, like, what would you rather have? 1,000,000 Spartans or 1,000 space marines? Because that's effectively what the question is at that point. Because this is a battle, in my idea, honestly, a much more interesting faction lore-wise than any other Imperium faction, at least. I kind of like Sisters of Battle and do find them interesting, but there's a couple of issues I have with them. I don't really want an all-female faction, to be honest. And because I find it as weird as having like an all-male faction. It's like, yeah, lore reasons for them, but it still feels very on the nose. But for other reasons, when I was growing up, people were just really, really perverse around Sisters of Battle and stuff. So it just got me complete. I can't look at Sisters of Battle without having just these getting the shivers with them because of just how people treated them. I liked a Dark Eldar, but that's actually one of the reasons why I made a Dark Eldar army when I was little. I wanted a female army, and the Dark Eldar just sat right there. I was like, oh, and people were very willing to trade, give me or trade, you know, like the female incubi models for my male incubi models as well, because I loved the Cablite Warriors, to be honest. So yeah, that was my Dark Eldar army growing up. Because people weren't, I guess, involved with Dark Eldar, like people, at least around where I was, weren't as perverse about the Dark Eldar as they were about Sisters of Battle. It was really weird, but it's like people are super perverse with Sisters of Battle, but not nowhere near to the same extent with like Demonettes and stuff as well. But yeah, it's that kind of thing that just leaves a bad taste in your mouth. And I just like, I kind of get that for a cool faction, and I kind of want to get for myself, but at the same time, it's just always that reminder, like, oh. So, okay, so what do I want to paint black here? I want the grenade to be black. I want those things to be black. I actually want them to be Caliban green. And that can be black, that can be black, these can be black. All of that can be black. From Doom. Curtain Tuck means that contains sentinel language from Doom. There's a really interesting video that goes over a lot of what your life is as a Sister of Battle, from where you start as a Nothanite all the way to becoming an Abyss Sanctorum. And it's dark. It is dark. Like, dark and more complex than a lot of other lore. Well, it depends where you are. Like, the Sisters of Battle I've read about, because you got, if the Sisters of Battle are as diverse as the Space Marines are, in which you got all these different orders, and even within the orders themselves, you're going to have different, like, I don't think most of the orders just have one place where they recruit from. They have like lots of different like cathedrals and stuff. So it all depends on really who your sister superiors are and stuff. Because some of what I've read about the Sisters of Battle suggested that they actually had, I mean, it was extremely indoctrinated life, but it was actually kind of, you know, nice. Is it the Holy Rose one that's nice or something like that? For White Rose? I don't know. But then you got others where it's like your chance of surviving each day is extremely low, basically Space Marine level of low. And it's absolutely, so I think you do get different types. It's like with the Guardsmen, it's like some of the Guardsmen are extremely grimdark, but a lot of the Guardsmen aren't. And it's like there's a lot of grimdark planets in 40k, but there's a lot that aren't actually grimdark. Or at least not initially. There's a planet. I think it's actually in the Kane books. But it's been mentioned a few times in lore. And it was an agri-world. But like a very nice agri-world. People would go on holiday to there. You know, like go on retirement to there. Or if they have shore leave, they'd take it up this planet. But yeah, life was really, really pleasant for even for the lower class people. But then it got attacked by chaos. I think it was chaos, except then the humans who were living there still, you know, did oh no, it wasn't chaos. It was kind of chaos. It was a cult had formed. That most of them still worshipped the Emperor, but the person in charge of it was actually, you know, a demon worshipper. But they fought against him, and they were like, you know, put up a surprisingly good fight. And this, oh, what's the word? Resistance? No. Guerrilla warfare, yeah. And eventually, like, pushed him off a planet and like led an entire crusade to get rid of him. Except then they got attacked again later on. I don't know if a world got destroyed or not. But yeah, we got plenty of worlds like that. In the Last Chances book as well, and one of the characters becomes a guardsman and retires onto a planet where there's guard there, but ultimately it's a nice life. We've got TV, cars, radios. It pretty much just sounds like modern, well, less modern Earth, more like 80s or 90s Earth. I find it crazy that Dark Lord in Doom looks like the Doomslayer. I have no idea who Dark Lord is, I'm sorry. When they start off as a rescued orphan from a shelled city, indoctrinated into the ecclesiarchy, and you're immediately branded with a sister's sigil, fleur-de-lis, on your shoulder. Then you're locked in a cramped coffin for 16 hours of the day, forced to recite hymns without sleep the entire time. Again, it depends on what sister thing you're with. Most of them will be coming from the Scholar Paganinium, so the same place that you get Commissars and Tempestus Aquilians from and stuff, Tempestus Saiyans. Most of them will be coming from there. Then it would depend on which order you get sent to, or get saved by, if you don't go through the Scholar Paganinium, because you don't have to. And then it would depend on not just which order you are, but exactly where you are and who your sister superiors are, depending on how you do. A lot of them will still force you through all of this, you know, testing of the faith and stuff like that, reciting prims and prayers, indoctrination. But how vicious it is, you know, whatever. One of the Kane novels covers his time as a teacher at a commissar school. It shares grounds with Sisters of Battle School. They seem to be one of a kind orders. Yeah. Again, it really depends. Like, different books I've read have, like, different comments on what the Sisters of Battle life is. And it seems to be mostly based on order. But it's not just the order. It's, like, there was a nicer order, but they had some really horrible sisters. Like, you know, they're more like sisters from the more terrible orders. And then you get the more terrible orders, and some of the sisters there might be nicer. I believe when I'm referencing is the main sister force of the main order. I don't know which one that is. I think the main one is the generally not nicer one. But I think there's two main ones, isn't there? At least in terms of lore, of how big they are. Because you had the unmartyred lady. Something Rose. Cadia stands a planet before the god did. The planet did fall before the god did. The guard continued fighting even after the entire planet got corrupted and turned to chaos. Oh gosh, my wrists hurt. My handy pandies hurt. Sorry you got busy. Don't worry about it. I'm mostly talking today. I know I didn't do much painting today, but as I said at the start of the stream, I'm kind of like... Unfortunately, my head is very... today. You know, do you do those days where you just like live in a fog? Kind of me today. Okay, just gotta glue this here again because it keeps breaking off. Yeah. Nice. Okay, we'll get some glue here. And glue here. There we go. Might need to paint that there later. I need to throw these things away. They're just bits. If you wonder what these are, they're just bits of melee put. That broke off my soul grinder. It'll be either marked a lady of a bloody rose. Yeah. Yeah, the main one that do you know is in all the well, not all the art, but do you know all the models are painted as? I wouldn't necessarily call it the main one because most of the books I've actually read of Sisters of Battle, it hasn't been them, it's been the nicer ones. Surprisingly. Or just one of the other orders. Most of them, they're tertiary to the books, or do you know, secondary. Well, I've only read one where it's like fully about the Sisters of Battle. I don't remember its name now. That's an okay book. What are you painting, by the way? What units and factions? I've been painting my Leagues of Photon in my MacDonald colours. Although I've been doing the black today. This is actually the final colour scheme I fell upon with the rifle. I didn't do the white very well here. I'm going to try, hopefully, doing it better. Well, I forgot about to do for white and for weapons too. I might have to do these bits white. Or maybe the end bits white. No, I'll do the... Or maybe I'll just do that panel at the back white. I don't know. Oh, I do the ammo here white. That's easy enough. Oh, I checked my pile and I found I had a third Dark Imperium Lord of Contagion. What? I was going to order Belfast, but guess I now have three of the coolest Death Guard model available. Whoa! Lord of Contagions go. By the way, guys, would you rather have low latency, like super low latency, or would you rather have higher quality streams? Pre-order now! I don't think any of them made to orders here. Yeah, new skirmish mode thing. I wonder if these guys are pushed fit. Or if they're just for actual... Well, you only get 8 of them. Yeah, you only get 8. Yeah, they're not pushed fit. They're cool though. You get your new gangs. Well, not new, but just boxes with 2 units in. Pretty cool for Warhammer conversions. And kit bashers, 40k ones, all of that stuff. Tries them for infinite. Yeah, you can pre-order this. It's just, yeah, sold out immediately. I don't even know why they bother putting this up. Like, how many hours after? 7? No. 8 hours afterwards, because for special edition stuff set out. Oh, I didn't even realise it's got that colour thing there. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, these things haven't sold out yet. So, you know, and you can get the Infinite Define if you want it. I think the Skaven pre-orders probably coming, or made to orders coming next week. I was going to use all up for cultist conversions. Yeah. What did I use for my conversions? I used I hate for wave this right now. No. I used Clan Escher for mine. Cultist. Actually, I've got two different sets of not cultist. I used Clan Escher for my cult Sananeshi cultists, and I used the where are they? The Ashwaste Nomads, these dudes, for my Traitor Guardsmen for Nurgle. Traitor Guardsmen of Nurgle. So this would be a grenade launcher used for sniper, and then I think I just gave one of them a plasma gun or flamethrower or something. I did just use the flame pistols to represent a flamethrower. Can't remember. But yeah. They're very good for representing anything. I've also seen people who don't like the Genestealer cult models and instead take Genestealer cult heads and put them on like these guys. Which honestly I would like. I do know these ones. I think these guys make amazing cultists if you want to do cultists. Or pretty much any. I'm thinking about using these guys as Catachan jungle fighters in my serfs army. So my army that is meant to be the military arm of my Space Marine serfs. So these guys will represent the more fanatical side of them. I'm still not sure about it. These guys are great if you want corn cultists, by the way. These guys, great for corn cultists. You can use them as jackals if you wanted to, or maybe even goremongers if you give them some tactical rock. Or you can just use them in like a word bearer, world eater, or whatever army you want. They don't have to be corn cultists. I mean, they do make great corn cultists, but they don't have to be. These guys also make great chaos dudes. If you wanted, do you know the accursed cultists? I think these dudes make great accursed cultists with, well, actually, if we look at their box up here, Goliath Underhive crew, these big ones over here are good for, do you know, the big accursed cultists. Well, you can actually buy them separately. If I filter it. Oh yeah, if you want Chaos Space Marine bikes, by the way. These guys are amazing. Goliath Maulers. Just the perfect Chaos Space Marine bike. You don't even need to do much. You can literally just take their head off, put a Space Marine head on them, and it works. Especially if you want to do a more carnate one. Or you can just take them off a bike, cut off a body or whatever, put a Space Marine body in place of them. Or just put like Space Marine arms on them. Cupcake one day should look up for Dark Lord from Doom Eternal and the Doom
Conjuror is McDonald's most loyal soldier.
I am McDonald's most low latency, yeah. I really love McDonald's, don't you? I hope they wake up and steer the company back to what made them popular in the first place. Sorry, I missed your stuff then. Is it possible Clone Fulgrim to return to 40k setting? Potentially. There's a set of Renegade Guard from a 30-card seller for my Iron Warriors army. Ooh. I've looked at various third-party guardsman options, and mostly all I want to do is use them for, like, get spare heads or whatever. And use a Saturn box set for the main force of my Iron Warriors. The Saturn box set is great. Convert the Saturn Praetor into a Demon Prince. The Praetor is a bit small to be a Demon Prince, if I'm entirely honest. He's about the same size as a Hellbrute. Like, if you put him onto his actual base, and then put that base onto a 60mm base, so that's the same as a Hellbrute and a Demon Prince, he'll be about... you can get away with using him as a Hellbrute. Trying to make him a Demon Prince, you definitely need to get him a really big tactical rock, because Demon Princes are just so much bigger. At least in my experience. With a big shoulders. Yeah, he's not really Demon Prince size, unfortunately. It depends how you convert him, to be honest. Well, that's just my warning. What else is put in here? I think these guys could make good traitor guardsmen. I really want to also use these guys or something. I don't know what though. Like maybe do you know some sort of futuristic guardsman army? Maybe one that's not actually loyal to the Imperium. Or maybe one that is, but doing like full Tempest of Saiyans. Classicin maybe. Oh, there's so many cool stuff. Oh yeah, where are they? Filter these by... Plastic. Yeah, we got a lot of wrestling models. And then let's put it... Oh, what are they called? House Goliath. What are they? Yeah, it's these guys. Over big dudes. You could also use these guys. Represent to cultist. Oh, don't I forget if you go back like that, you have to open it in a new thing. Got so many cool. For so many, Necromunda models are amazing. I absolutely adore them. I gotta be sawing arms and legs and sculpting elongated limbs. Ooh, that sounds really fun. The 39 Terminators can definitely be obliterators. Now you don't have to worry about sawing off the arms and legs because the arms and legs are not on the model. Like they're not a push fit model. The what's it called? The Saturnine box. For the actual models you'll buy in the boxes, and they're really really good. I really really love the Saturnine models. You can move the arms. You can reposition the arms as much as you like, and it's really great. I'll show you some of the models I've got. Here's my Saturnine models. Actually, maybe he could be a Demon Prince. Yeah, I don't think you need to do too much to make him a Demon Prince. So yeah, I'll just use him as a normal. I did have to use some green stuff to fill in the gaps a bit with the way I've repositioned this one. But yeah, this dude, look at him just stood there. And even the foot itself can be repositioned because it comes in 2 pieces. So you can be like clamping onto something like that. It's amazing. I absolutely love the Saturnine models. So yeah, I'll just use him as a normal Dino Fenwood Dreadnought. But as you can see here, it's like this guy's knelt down, reading a book. With his one hand on his knee. Well, you don't need any conversion because the legs come in like this piece is 2 parts. The knee is another part. This piece is 2 parts. The foot is 2 parts. Which means, yes, they are really time consuming to make. But they've also got detail on the underside, so you can do this if you want to. And the same goes like for arms. There's just so many different pieces, but it allows you to have full posability without losing any details. I didn't put the big shoulders on because I thought they looked cool without the shoulders still. And I want to use my centurions. That's why I put the missiles on the back. So yeah, you can just pose them as much as you want. Every set to 9 is the exact same, effectively, in terms of how you can pose it. There's no limit. It's amazing. But yeah, you don't need to saw for legs at all. You can just not stick them on and then sculpt whatever you want onto the side of it. Or what you can do is, because they come in multiple pieces, you can sculpt your limbs and then put the armor on around the limb. So you can still see like the initial limb. It's like this piece here, this upper piece, I think is 3 different parts. If I remember correctly, there's a conversion you can do with a Contemptor Dreadnought and a Demon Prince kit. And it easily converts into a Demon Prince kit because the arms and legs fit. Ooh! I never thought of it. I do have 3 Contemptors. But yeah, I think like how he is here, he might be able to get away with being a Demon Prince. I don't have my Demon Princess with me. I got a Demon Prince upstairs in the attic, and that's hard to get to. So show it next to the Contemptor. Like, the main body is significantly smaller than a Contemptor. But yeah, with his base on top of another base, and the big thing on his back, it just makes him about the same size as a Contemptor, especially with a gun. So you could get away with having him be a Demon Prince, I feel like. I think you wouldn't need to do too much. I think you'd still need to make him a bit taller, a bit bigger. If you would do I've got a whole Terminator fair, it's because I got the Terminators in the Combat Patrol, the Chaos Terminators. And I bought a pack of Death Shroud Terminators to convert one into my Sorcerer Lord in Terminator armor with Mark of Nurgle. And then the other 2 Death Shroud Terminators are just turned into, you know, normal Terminators. And that left me with 2 spare Terminator bodies. Yay! One of which I put on this, because I thought it would be really cool. Even though I'd never get to use this model much. Because there's nothing in 40k can really easily be used as. By the way, this isn't glued on, it's blue tack. Because I'm not even sure I want to do that. I'm hoping one day they give us like proper rules for these guys in 40k. Do you have a good suggestion for what to use for bigger dudes and bigger cultist unit? Preferably with a 40mm out of the box. What are you using for your normal cultists? It depends. What are you going for with what you want to for your accursed cultist? I can find something here for you. If you want Slaneshi ones, Age of Sigmar, Chaos, Head of Knights of Slanesh, Langor, Fiend Blood, they are on 40mm round basis. Perfect. Well, I guess no.
Wait a minute. Has anyone just played a single model like the Dreadnoughts?
Has anyone just played a single model by itself? I don't think so. I think you'd need a lot more models. And for our scenarios, like if you play Combat Patrol Magazine, they'll give you scenarios for like using just a Demon Prince by itself against like a small enemy army. In Age of Sigmar, Chaos, Nurgle. Where are they? Kankabarn. Kankabarn would be great. They're on 40mm basis. I believe, yeah, 240mm for push fit, but for amazing models. Other models that come on 40mm bases out for bar that you could use as a custom cultist, and you want it to be Nurgle. Bunch of what I'm thinking of are 40mm or 50mm bases, sorry. Let's look at the Interns to Darkness. Nah, I don't want the Ogre. Chaos Spawn, no. I guess the Blight Kings, but they maybe look too much like... I think they'll look too much like Plague Marines. Chaos, Magotkin to Nurgle. I like the Cankerbarn. Your Cankerbarn are a very nice option, but obviously it might be a bit of an expensive option at 31 quid for just 2 of your dudes. I mean, just give you 2 other models you could use as your custings. Your Putrid Blight Kings, I don't know if they'll be a bit too small for the no, maybe not.
How do you play Warhammer 40k digitally? I don't have a real LGS and don't have a real following for it here. Yet.
Download a game called Tabletop Simulator, or TTS, I think it's called. Tabletop Simulator. I believe that's how most people play digitally. You've got other games as well you could play, but that's the cheapest option. You've got a workshop, you've got other mods and stuff like on Nexus and so on, I guess. I don't know, I've never actually looked at the mods there. The Putrid Blight Kings, I guess they could work. I mean, you could use Nurglings on 40mm basis. I mean, a Nurgling could be an accursed cultist, right? Other models I can think of. If we look at... Again, most of them are going to be Age of Sigmar, if I'm entirely honest. I mean, you got... Yeah, I can't use Old World because they're on square basis. Destruction, Goom, Sprite Scare. You got the Troggers, but I think they're on 50mm base. Oh, actually, wait. Bellwater Troggers, are they 40 or 50mm basis? They're on 50mm basis. They could fit on 40, but you'll have to get the 40mm separately. The other Troggers can easily fit on 40mm basis, these ones. Because I've put them on the square basis for Old World. Again, from 50mm. The things that we used for Chaos Spawn, for Cryptoris, again, they come on 50mm. Oh my gosh! Thank you for the gift! There's a little Kargi on screen. Ah, thank you. Big love hearts to that Kargi. Thank you, Pavalon Protoplasm. Oh, sorry, that doesn't unfortunately trigger any of my stuff. Sent to Kargi for 1,000 Jews. Yay! Thank you for that. I think if I get 3 boxes of Blight Kings and one of Cankerbarn and have a random Blight King character model from ages ago, so that could work. It could probably work, yeah. I'd convert them up a bit to look a bit even more custom stuff. Maybe make them look a bit more 40k-ish. You could put like a bolt pistol in one of their many hands coming out of them. With the occasional, you know, chainsword. What does Death have? You've got Soul Blight Gravelords. But, like, I'll do the thing later. Flesh Eater carts have the Soul Blight Gravelords. Yeah, these are unfortunately on 50mm bases, but they would make otherwise good ones. Yeah, but they're gone. these things. Well, they're not very nerdy, but you got the Spirit Host found 40mm basis. Oh no, found 50mm, aren't they? Yeah, 50mm, never mind. I'm silly. And flesh eater carts over here. Yeah, everything's on 50mm, unfortunately, on oval basis or something. Yeah, so I think you got a good idea, but big love hearts. Thank you for the corgi and the Julie things. Oh, wait, I kind of just use the Iron Warriors army with a standard Mark II shoulder pads, since they're more of a renegade chapter thing, true Chaos Worshippers. Ooh, that's cool. I do like that about some of the renegade things. You don't have to be Chaos. Do Blood Bowl models match 40k models in size? Yes, they do. Although the issue you're going to have with Blood Bowl models is that they often, you know, are modelled like football players. Oop, I just accidentally opened the wrong thing there. If we go over here, like so Warhammer stream. Thank you for watching. Other games, you want to go to Blood Bowl. The easiest way to check if a model, you know, matches other stuff is just to check its base size. So we got the ogres over here. And you just scroll down, and what size base are they on? 2 32mm round bases and 25mm. So they're on 32mm bases, so they're kind of small for ogres. I like Skylar over here, he's so cool. Ooh, the tree man looks cool as well. The Nurgle Rot Spawn. What size base is he on? It looks like 32. No, 40mm. You could get a bunch of these Rot Spawn for resin and for 30 quid each, but oh my gosh, look at them. Oh, and you got Guffle over here. What size base is he on? 32mm, sadly. Oh, Bio-Rot Vomit Flesh. Okay, I have money, but not that kind of money yet. Oh, look at this dude. And also 32mm. I thought that's like ogre size. What the heck? What's the Nurgle team looking like over here? Do they have a Nurgle team? No, yeah, it's just these dudes. Yeah, none of them are on 40mm, unfortunately. They're looking cool though. I imagine running a Space Marine with a chainsaw and bolter in full football outfit from Blood Bowl and having cosplay Cole from Gears of War. Unfortunately, Blood Bowl is set in the fantasy. Well, it's not actually technically in the fantasy universe, but you know, it's inspired by fantasy. So, unfortunately, no Space Marines in Blood Bowl. Oh my gosh, they could do like a made-to-order special edition for models though, like that. That could be fun. You could also go for, actually no, these guys on 50mm basis, never mind. Terminators are 40mm basis. Maybe use some Light Lord Terminators. Actually no, they'd be too small for custodians, wouldn't they? Can I just replace the base with the correct size? You could do. But they did specifically ask for if it preferably came with the correct size base. It's not hard to get for bases. For only like £3 for packs of bases usually. Sometimes 5 or 6. When he has a space mean for a mem. Oh. If you do, GW is going to send from MIA at your door. For MIA? For missing in action? You mean MI5? MI6? Military intelligence? I guess MIA would be military intelligence agency. Yeah, mostly just thinking if the base is the right size out for box, then it would be nice. Yeah, if a base isn't the big concern, then obviously you could go for crypt ghouls, River Trolls, Troggoths. And then you've got like things like, do you know, for Chaos Ogres and stuff. I thought then you probably be dealing with metal models. We've also got the various old world models you could look at. I meant for BIA. For BIA, the British Intelligence Agency. We don't have any intelligence. Our agency. What the heck are you on about? British Intelligence Agency? What? Palan, you're accusing us of having both intelligence and agency. And, you know... Have you seen Britain? Oh no, I broke off a piece of this model. Now I need to put it back on. Hunter is hoarding all the intelligence in Britain. I am. And I'm spending it all on Warhammer each day. I lose a bit of intelligence. I'd very much to hoard anyhow. No! Hey, take that back. You can't win this one, Talan. It's like, only I'm allowed to make fun of Britain in this situation. I'm sorry. It's like, he made fun of his son, I made fun of my son. Then he made fun of his son, I made fun of his son, and then he stopped talking to me and I was really angry. Like, that's because you made fun of his son, but he was making fun of him. Yeah, he's allowed to. You're not allowed to. Got some scrubs, by the way. There we go. Fixed him. Her IQ is 16. My IQ is 167 billion. Yeah. Or something close to that. I don't know. I don't know numbers. It goes Ichi, Ni, San, Yo, Go, Loku, Nana, Hachi, Chu, Ju, Juichi, Juni. I'm counting in Japanese. Japanese. Oh my gosh, my words are getting lost. Oh my gosh, it's 7:30. So I've been talking for ages. It's meant to be a painting stream. I did a little bit of painting. I'm gonna talk. So big love hearts to you all. Thank you for coming to the stream today. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Don't forget to like the stream because it does help me out. We'll try doing some more painting tomorrow maybe, or it depends if I feel up to it. I don't know. I hope I'm going to feel better tomorrow because I do want to get more painting done. But I hope you have a good rest of your day. Explosions. Yeah, have a good rest of your day. Remember to work hard but play harder. Eat good food, sleep well, dream of cupcakes but don't eat the cupcakes with friends, not food. And also take care of yourselves, be kind to others and vice versa. Big old love heart to you all. Sorry for making... No, don't worry about it. I enjoy looking at models. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Love you all. Yeah, smash! We'll be streaming tomorrow at the same time. Yeah.